welcome to Scottsdale Park at Redland for... And good afternoon and welcome to Scottsdale Park at Redland, Victoria Point for the annual Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy. It is NEAFL TV round 5, Redland versus Aspley. And looking forward to a great contest here as well. A beautiful day in southeast Queensland. Got about 26, 27 degrees. Not a breath of wind to speak of. Not a cloud in the sky. Perfect weather for State League footy here in the NEAFL. Michael Price is my name, joined in commentary by Jess Webster. Jess, again, we're looking for a really good contest. It's a colourful contest as well.
Absolutely. It's a brilliantly gorgeous day here in Brisbane. Conditions could not be more perfect for a game of footy here today. Obviously, really looking forward to this clash. Redland are 1-3 coming in today. Aspley are 0-3, still searching for their first win of the season and trying to avoid their worst ever start to a NEAFL season in the competition's 9-year history. So a lot of pressure on Aspley today. Redland, they'll be hoping to recapture the form that saw them defeat Canberra by 60 points in round 2, which was just probably one of the best performances I've seen them in the last couple of years. They were sensational that day. Dropped, I guess, their heads a little bit last week against NT Thunder in a winnable game. So they want to come back here on their home deck today and put in a real strong showing for their home fans. And what is a great fixture on the calendar, might I say this, Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy is a tradition that's growing between these two sides. I love the designs of the jumpers today. They look magnificent, and there's a lot of pride associated with the game today.
Now, the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy, of course, Quandamooka representing the Redland mob and Toorbul representing Aspley. And as Jess has pointed out, when you have a look at the Indigenous designs on the Guernseys, absolutely brilliant. Redland, of course, well, they'd be looking for a win regardless of the jersey design because they haven't won 2 games in a row on their home deck for many years. Well, 2 games within 3 weeks, within many years. Last week, again, you said was a winnable game against the NT Thunder. It developed into a bit of a shootout, and they just let them run. They really want to tighten it up this week against Aspley because Aspley will hurt them as well.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with playing an attacking brand of football. You just have to make sure that you've got the defence associated with that to be able to shut the opposition down, because I think Redland, while we love to see them take the game on, if they start to play that shootout with another side, I question whether or not they can go the distance. So it'll be important that their defence is on point today against a pretty experienced Aspley side.
How about the ruck battle too? The postman, Craig Malone, has been in devastating form, the big unit. He's up against Jake Spencer, the former Melbourne ruckman. Will be a really good contest.
Absolutely, and I think Jake Spencer, he hasn't been at his best this year so far. Of course, made the NEAFL Team of the Year last year, but he's still trying to recapture his form of 2018. And Malone, as you said, he's easily in NEAFL Team of the Year form at the moment. Cannot wait for that battle.
Part of the ceremonial part of today for the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy. Redland versus Aspley. It's NEAFL TV. It is round 5. Really looking forward to this game as we get into the ceremonial.
To acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Quandamooka people, and have one of their elders in Auntie Joan here to read welcome to country.
Judah, welcome to the homeland of the Quandamooka people. Distinguished guests, elders, staff and community support members who are here today to witness the exciting game between the Bombers and Aspley. I come with goodwill for the greetings and blessings of the Quandamooka people. We are the First Nation people, the independent borders of Moreton Bay, and our 3 clan groups are the NEAFL and Burrell. I'm the 4th generation descendant of my Nubi Apical ancestor Ginnivan. Webster's life remains central to my respect for the holistic well-being National Reconciliation theme. Our history, our story, our future. Which reflects the importance of celebrations like we are about to witness here today. A plea for all Australians to reflect on an authentic national identity and the place of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history, cultures and life in our own nation's story. Our story here in the Redland has a deep-rooted multicultural foundational structure that has witnessed the arrival on our shores of many other nations we know call this place home. Reconciliation is a shared responsibility that believes in fairness for everyone, that our diversity makes us richer, and that together we are stronger. The theme for NAIDOC Week 2019 this year is Let's Work Together for a Shared Future, and it's about voice, treaty and the truth. So together we can make a difference in the essence of building relationships and nurturing holistic well-being of body, mind and spirit. I would like to now leave you with an adaptation of our own homegrown ancestral hymn, the NEAFL Uncapped Walker, and that is to our fathers and mothers, the pain and sorrow, to our children who are here with us today, the glad tomorrow. And I say once again to you, Yura, welcome to Quandamooka, and finally, as I leave here, your way, goodbye. Thank you.
You also note that the Redland team are supporting Black Arm Man in respect to the passing of the Scottsdale Park grandmother, Duke Elect, and we certainly send our condolences out to the whole Carter family. Thank you.
Oh, as we get a little bit of feedback from the ground microphone. Wonderful words there spoken by Auntie Joan, who descended from the Quandamooka people, the Redland mob, and this is a really big part of the day, the Quandamooka Turnbull Trophy, round 5, NEAFL TV. Redland versus Aspley here at Scottsdale Park. It's Michael Price and Jess Webster calling all of your action. Right, we've talked about the ruck battle between Craig Malone, the postman, and Jake Spencer. Jake's got a lift, but the loss of Jack Rolls is going to mean that's going to be, well, there's an opening for Aspley in the clearance department because Rolls has been dominant in that aspect so far this year.
Absolutely. I think up to last week he was actually leading the competition in clearances. So Jack had a wonderful start to the season. Massive loss with an ankle injury today. Does open the door for Jack Ratton to come in and play his NEAFL debut. A local junior from Coorparoo, and he'll be coming in for his first NEAFL game. For Aspley, they are as named. There's actually a couple of interesting storylines to this game, Pricey. Harry Hunkin comes in for Redland for his first game at NEAFL level for the club in 965 days. He last played at round 20, 2016. Had a couple of years away in Melbourne. Now back at the club and playing at NEAFL level. Great to see him back. And Cal Carsadine is notable in for Aspley. This is his first game since tearing his ACL, so he's been out for about 12 months. So welcome back, Cal. Some great storylines out here today, Price. You're only a couple of minutes away from the opening bounce as the two teams just do their final warm-ups. Who are you tipping?
Well, I know it's the home ground of Redland. I just feel that this is a game that Aspley have to win. They might have the edge of experience, and with Jack Rolls going out of that clearance work of the middle, I'll just tip Aspley by about 5 points.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it'll be a red-hot contest. Expecting Aspley to get over the line, they simply have to win. But Redland, they'll be ready to come out and sort of atone for a disappointing loss on their home ground last week. They had such a wonderful win against Canberra in round 2. The next week, they pushed Sydney right to the final sign. They've never beat Sydney in the NEAFL. They just ran out of legs. I think Jack Rolls was done at half-time. Clay Cameron was injured and was in the goal square for the whole last quarter. He simply ran out of legs, but they gave Sydney a real red-hot crack. Only dropped that one by 7 points. So I guess the spark is there. The intensity's there, the effort's there for Redland. They've just got to be able to put it together for 4 quarters because Aspley, they are certainly going to come out firing today. Absolutely, and a couple of good ins for Redland though too, also with Aaron Christensen coming back in. Cameron Spencer's also back, the former Hampden League player from a sore hammy, so they've sort of boosted their lineup even with the loss of Jack Rolls. I love the
Jack Ratton's story, the Cooperoo player. He kicked 47 odd goals in Div 1 in the seniors for Cooperoo only a year or so ago. Then kicked a whole bunch of goals for the Mount Gravatt reserves that bang straight into the seniors. Bang, here he is playing in the NEAFL for Redland. So what a dramatic rise, and good luck to the young man today.
So we're only moments away. This is round 5 NEAFL action on NEAFL TV. Michael Price and Jess Webster with you in commentary as the umpire holds the ball aloft. It'll be Craig Malone against Jake Spencer in the ruck. Cannot wait to see how that battle unfolds. Cal Carcedine's also in the middle. He's opposed to Sol Cormick, as that is going to be a recall. Not the best start as you build it up, Pricey, as always.
Bit of theatre, that's how it works. Take 2.
We'll do that one again. So Malone, give that one to him. Castle will be first to meet it for the Bombers. Escapes a tackle, finds himself a bit of space. Quick kick around the corner, up towards half forward. Coming out to meet it is Boyd Bailey, but he's dispossessed. Great tackle by Liam Dawson. Ball in dispute, still inside the centre square. Hayden Batoli-Simmons goes in hard. So does Lonnie Hampton. Clever tap on from Malone. And this is Yagmore on his trusty left. He's got a man in space, and it's a great kick. Finds Boyd Bailey. 45 metres are out close to the boundary line. That's
the weapon that Peter Yagmore possesses. The 40-metre pass did not have to move Boyd Bailey. Brilliantly done. And if they can execute like that, especially Yagmore coming off half-back, it's going to go a long way for Redland winning this game.
This will be the perfect start for the Bombers. Great lead-up work from Bailey, involved in the centre square, and then found himself some space inside 50. An experienced player for Redland on the approach. Let's go from 45. It's a beautiful strike off the boot, and he makes no mistake. And he loved that one too. The Bombers are on the board early. 6 points leading Aspley. Yet to score. We've only played a minute in the first term.
How about the kick? As soon as he struck it with the left foot, he knew the natural curl of his left footer. He did the arm curl and ran straight towards his teammates. Great start for Redland on their home deck. And might I say, the ground staff here must be applauded after what's been, well, it's been a horrendous week or so with rain and certain different conditions. The ground has come up like carpet. It is brilliant.
It's a beautiful day for footy, and the surface, as you said, is immaculate.
So umpire Andrew Adair in the middle, and we'll see Craig Malone for Redland up against Jake Spencer. Be a fascinating battle as we go through this afternoon. Spencer wins that one down. Payne in close quarters, handball to Toy. Floats one inside 50. Adrian Williams just did it beautifully. Got rid of his man in Freeman. Took the mark, and Redland should be able to clear. It's coming out to the commentary wing. Goes over the head of the pack. Out the back, Redland have the chance with Franks. Lowers the eyes, tries to spear the pass in. It actually wasn't a bad pass at all. A little bit of a spoiling effort from Aspley, and that's come off a boot that's going to be out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Hornets.
See Caleb Franks limping a little bit. He's obviously a rising star for Redland. He's just trying to shake it off, I think. So this is Stanley, right half back for Aspley. Drives it long down the wing, and Mills marks uncontested. And he wants to switch play, and he's got Batoli-Simmons inside the centre square. He's got Hunkin out in the broadcast wing. Wants to go the other side of the ground in the Cormick direction, but he's turned it over, and Liam Dawson takes the intercepting mark.
Yeah, just drilled it down the opponent's throat then. And has that been an infringement? No, the umpire just came in and said you've got to kick over the mark. So Liam Dawson will go back. Played a few interesting roles so far this year, Liam Dawson, both forward and back.
And in the middle.
And in the middle, yeah. He's having a go at basically everything. Kicks it to left half forward, off hands. Nellis back in the side, towards the boundary. Looks like Sol Cormick's come through and got tackled without the ball. No, the umpire said he got rid of the ball incorrectly beforehand. So Nellis will take the free kick for Aspley. It's a long kick inside 50. Big fly at the back was by Malone, picked up by Williams, scrubs it out. It's going to be cut off once again, and Ben Warren has it for Aspley at left half forward.
It's crowded forward 50, hard to spot a target, so he just wants to put it in a dangerous spot to the goal square. Freeman has 2 to beat. Malone comes across with a fist and sends it out of bounds.
So that's the great work that I think Malone has lifted so far this year. He's always been very good in the ruck, but around the ground he's really providing some good defensive efforts, and when he floats up forward, he's a good target.
100%, as we saw a good defensive effort there as well. He's in the battle again with Spencer. One evaded both of them. Mills gets first hands on it. Handball couldn't find the target. Hampton tries to create something for Aspley, but again, the boundary line beats all.
It's going to be fairly congested today. Should see the good skills on display, though. As I say, not a breath of wind, really, so no end favouring. Umpire's going to throw it in. Spencer at the back. Slaps it forward. Once again, it's close to the boundary line. Toy curls it back in with the left foot. Top of the goal square. Freeman. Nice snap, the big man. He gathered it well too, Jono Freeman. So Aspley get their first goal on the board. One straight apiece after a couple of minutes of the first quarter on NEAFL TV.
He just pounced on that, didn't he? I think it was Scott Miller who sort of came through and didn't quite collect it or kill the contest and send it through for a rush behind, and Freeman just managed to curl it around. Is quite good athleticism from the big guy, wasn't it? Just
he
to
loves
sort of throw it on the boot and sort of curl it around the corner, but scores a level. I think we expected this coming in. We knew it was going to be tight early, and the intensity is certainly matching the occasion at the moment.
And the crowd, well, it's building up here, and the Redland Social Club to our left, they're buzzing with excitement about today, expecting the Bombers to put up a real good show.
Seeing Payne and Cass run together in the midfield. Battle between the two veterans. So we're back in the middle. Malone wins that one easily. Cormick can't gather it. Coming through Spencer again. Handballs to Payne. Backwards to Craven. Kick up towards half forward. Gowers in a one-on-one against Yagmore. Great defensive effort by Yagmore. Wraps him up. But it's holding.
Yeah.
Holding without the footy.
Oh, and that's 50 too.
And now it's 50. So Tom Bolt to be the beneficiary of this.
Harrison Hunkin there just got sucked in a little bit. I think William Gowers might have actually said, "Yeah, give the ball to me." He tried to. It was the wrong bloke. The umpire ended up having to give 50.
So a little bit of ill discipline there from Redland. Has gifted Bolcher relatively easily shot on goal directly in front, about 35 metres out, and it's another 50.
They've turned it over, have they?
Now it's another 50. So a little bit of a scuffle broke out at centre half forward, which means Bolcher's been marched to the goal square and pops it right through, and that's Aspley's second. And it's still going on a bit at centre half forward.
Yeah, they're getting into a little bit of a push and shove match there, but while that's going on, Aspley have kicked the goal, and that's exactly what they'll be wanting to enforce a little bit. They're looking at a bit more of a physical effort against Redland as well.
Redland so far, I feel like they're matching it though. I feel like yeah.
I don't think
it's been a great start. It would have been going about 6.5 minutes. And it's a pretty close contest already.
So we see Big Will Walbers go into the ruck for Aspley. He'll go up against Craig the Postman Malone, current holder of 3 of the top 10 hitouts in the history of the NEAFL. He gets another one, does Malone. It works in the favour of Redland, towed forward by Spence, the new player in this week, to half forward. Aspley will repel. Malone cuts it off though, puts up a sky ball. It's going to be a big pack fly. Hamilman got rid of his opponent, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills. Redland's still got it in play. It's going to go over the boundary line. Tackling effort there by Jasper Craven. We'll get a throw in about 30 metres out, right forward pocket.
We mentioned a ruck battle, a couple of midfield battles, but what about Hamilman on Gross and Freeman on Adrian Williams?
Yeah.
Two full forwards and fullbacks in the competition. It's going to be great to watch. So, ball thrown in. This is Cormick with a snap around the body. Right to the goal line. And Gross and Hamilman see it over for a minor score. So, Redland, 1-1-7, trail Aspley 2-12, and we've played 8 minutes in the first term.
So Aspley being patient, bringing the ball back in. It's going to be a long ball. Walber's the target against Cormick. He outsized him. Cormick actually did well to buffet the big man a little bit. Made him drop the mark. Aspley under a lot of pressure to exit here. Jasper Craven, John O'Giles looping a handball over the top now. Here's Gowers. Sorry, it's Bolch on the right foot. Bounces kindly there for Payne, who got rid of his opponent. Adrian Williams, though, affected it. Freeman comes in, gets the handball away. Now here's Gowers. Looping the handball over the top to Payne. He just slaps it forward. It's going to beat all comers over the boundary line. Another throw in front of the change rooms. I'm going to say I do compliment the designs on the Indigenous jumpers as well. Looking fantastic, both sides.
So the ball's thrown back inside. Forward 50 for Aspley. Cormick is going nowhere and we'll have a ball up. So Aspley are pressing here after Redland kicked the opening goal. Ball still in dispute. It'll be hard to extract that one out. We might see another ball up. Umpire letting it go. And now it comes out. This is Gowers trying to gather it, but Batoli Simmons dispossesses him. Now this is Stephen. Little handball to Batoli Simmons, but he's run out of real estate. And that'll be a throw in 50 metres around from goal. So they've gone a little bit backwards.
A little bit backwards, and Batoli Simmons, of course, I saw his dad, the great Terry Simmons, former Maine and Cooperoo superstar in the QAFL from many years ago, just standing behind us here at NEAFL TV. Now the throw in. It's hooked around the body there by O'Sullivan. Comes back towards the middle. He read it well, Stanley. Couldn't quite take the mark. Goes back now. Still in dispute. Stanley again shoots a handball through. Coming through there was Spence, tackled. Ball dislodged again. Boy, this is some tight footy. Bodies around the ball. You could throw a hanky over 20 of them. And the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. The last man up, Whitley Gowers. Tap down again. Malone roves the tap down from Spencer. Another big sky ball. That seems to be his specialty, the postman. Rove there nicely by Salter. Inside 50. Hamilman at the back. Gross did well to bring the ball to ground. Hamilman butters up well, though. Oh, Gross smothers him off the boot. God, this is going to be a good battle all day. Gross on the left foot, down the outer wing. Cut off. Nice mark there by Miller.
So, Miller trying to find an option forward. A little bit hesitant on where to go. So he just sends it back inside forward 50 to Gross and Hamilman. And I think that's a push in the back, going Gross's way it is.
Yeah, just with the extended the arms there a bit, Matt Hamilman. He's got the body strength as well, but the experience of Gross is going to worry him.
So Gross sends it back to where it came, and he's found a target in co-captain James Ives. Sends it down the wing in the Giles direction. He can't mark Hampton at the ground level. Fires out a handball to Arnold. Back to Hampton. Chips it forward and finds Freeman a long way from home. 70 out from goal. Left half forward. Wheels around. Sends it into the corridor. Warren comes out, but taking the strong mark is Tom Salter.
Yeah, good courage there by Salter. Filled the hole and then took the punishment as he took the mark. Well done to Stallard. Dangerous kick. He just went to switch the play and ended up kicking it down the throat of a bloke you don't want to have it there. The goal scorer already is Tom Bolch. He's going to have another crack at it.
So Bolch, 23rd player for Aspley today, is a young 19-year-old recruit from Perth who's earned his spot in this Aspley side in the first 3 rounds. Done a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. After relocating to Brizzy, he came back 45 metres, 40 metres he'll go from. He starts at too far left at the back of the pack. There's nobody on the line. The mark's been taken there. Is that the engineer, big Will Walbers? He plays on, just handballs to Hampton, who just butters through and goes bang. He didn't look very comfortable in going back and taking the set shot, Will Walbers. Lonnie Hampton was just standing there, just here, have this sunshine, and he kicked the goal. So it's 3 goals straight to 1-1-7. Aspley lead it.
A little bit too easy, I think, on that one. Just needed a little bit more bodywork on Walbers. He seemed to sort of take it relatively easily, and then no one was checking Hampton. You can't leave him alone roaming around inside forward 50.
Exactly right. So, I mean, given that there should have been a Redland player at least competing against Walbers there, after he took the mark, what were they doing on the ground level? So they need to sharpen up in that respect. Yep. Hornets have started quite well.
Redland will want that one back, but nothing they can do about it now as Mills moves into the ruck against Spencer. Can Redland find the answering goal here? Goes down to Franks. Here's a quick inside 50. And good defensive work there by Craven against Boyd Bailey. And the youngster's off. He's taken 2 bounces. Got an option inside in Payne. He's under a bit of pressure. Handball's in the direction of Allen. He can gather it. Send it inside 50. A 1-on-1 contest. Williams against Freeman. Or Walbers it was, sorry. Williams. Great second effort just to lock that ball inside 50, and we will have a ball up 40 metres out directly in front.
If there was an award for the most dependable defender, I think Adrian Williams would have to go close. The last couple of years has been outstanding. The throw up from the umpire now. Aspley in attack. Billy Murphy paddles it in front of him, just interjecting there and doing well there was Billy Johnson. Got it down to the wing, and the Bombers have got a chance through the middle. Bailey got the handball away, or put his teammate under pressure, but he goes back and helps out, gets it again. They're going to come down through the corridor. Hamilman, he's broken away from Gross, and that was a beautiful pass. So Matt Hamilman, well within his distance, the leading goal kicker from last year with 60 goals.
There's a good build-up there by Redland. They almost coughed it up in the middle, but Boyd Bailey got a couple of really important touches there to set up this chance to Hamilman.
Here he comes. Had a reasonable game last week against the NT. From inside 50. Oh, geez, he struck that well. Goal umpire did not have to move. Matt Hamilman. That's going to impress a few people who are looking at him. He's nominated for the mid-season draft as well, so if they're looking for somebody who can use the footy when they get it in their hands, Matt Hamilman mightn't be a bad option.
He's so athletic, isn't he, Hamilman? He's so great on the lead. He's got a great pair of hands, and he's one of the best set shots I think we've got in the competition for sure. Obviously won the leading goal kicker award last year, and his accuracy, I just forget it off memory, it was up around sort of 65-70%, which is pretty good for a full forward. Kicked 60 majors in a side that finished at the bottom of the ladder with 1 win, so he was absolutely outstanding last year. And he's obviously hungry for a second chance at AFL level. So 3 straight to Aspley, 2-1-13 to Redland. So it's a 5-point margin. We only played about 16 minutes of the first term on NEAFL TV. So Malone's back in the ruck, battling against Spencer. Palms it down to Franks. He's tackled by Castledine, and we'll do it all again. So it's that transition that Redland had in that last goal-scoring phase. They've got to get moving. Give that one to Spencer, I think, on that occasion, but it spills out to Franks. He can't gather it. Little toe poke in the path of Stephen, who toe pokes it to Bailey from outside 50. He's got a man in space running towards goal, and Clay Cameron marks. What about that? Was that like one of those Irish Gaelic football plays? He just towed it up beautifully. It only went a couple of metres. But, and again, great ball use, because that was a magnificent kick down to Cameron in the right forward pocket. They look good on the attack, Redland. They can play this brand of footy consistently. It's pretty exciting to watch. So can they finish it off? Clay Cameron, the distance surely won't trouble him. A little bit of an angle to speak of, but he strikes it beautifully. That's his first for the day. And that is Redland's third, and they hit the front. 3-1-19 plays Aspley. 3 goals straight, 18. We played nearly 17 minutes in the opening term. Clay Cameron likes this fixture, the former Gold Coast Sun as well. He, a couple of years ago, took Mark of the Year, and just to our right here at Scottsdale Park, he can play, and he's a vital cog for Redland. If they want to get this game, they need to get Clay Cameron up and about. He and Hamilman will provide a lot of headaches for Aspley in that regard. Yeah, absolutely, and they really missed Cameron last year, just in their sort of... it's a great story how he came back. Absolutely, but from all reports, had a great pre-season, and he started off 2019 in good fashion. Back in the middle with the Bombers hitting the front again. Jake Spencer over the top of Malone. Frank's great little handball out to Cormick. He toes it forward. Good battle coming up here. Ball stuck underneath the Aspley player in Craven. There's a good tackling effort there. They're on top in the clearances so far, Redland. 9-3 going their way. Hitouts are going Aspley's way, 8-6 at this stage, but winning it out of the middle. Spencer just won that tap, but it didn't provide any service. Caleb Franks interjected. He got tackled and brought down. So, again, it's about the hitouts to advantage, Jess. We talked about that before the game, and both ruckmen quite dominant with the hitouts, but it's whether they hit their midfielders. High shot there. Hayden Batoli-Simmons has got the free kick. It's going to be a double whistle. It's kicked in. Oh, how about that for a pass? Silver service to Clay Cameron. Delightful kick of the ball from Batoli-Simmons. And the Bombers will get another shot directly in front. Yeah, great skill, wasn't it, by the captain? Probably been down on form, I think, in the early stages of 2019, but that'll get his confidence going. That was a great pass. So and, Clay Cameron. As you're a forward, you love that when you're coming out on the lead. It's absolutely perfect. Your eyes would be like dinner plates seeing the ball come at you like that. That was magnificent. Clay Cameron now for his second in a minute. Goal umpire does a bit of work, but it goes through. Bombers by 7. 4-1-26. Sorry, by 8. No, I was right the first time. 4-1-25 to 3 straight. Just getting excited. I love seeing ball use and skill like that. In amongst all of that traffic, he had to make a break, Cameron,
but the ball was there. He didn't have to break stride to go and get it. It was magnificent.
We've seen another momentum shift in this first quarter. I think it was Redland got the first goal, then Aspley sort of got a couple of quick ones and looked like they were in control. Now Redland have hit back with the last 3 goals in a row, only in 4 minutes, I think. 4 or 5 minutes. They've scored 3 quick goals, so it's been a great seesawing contest so far. I think we got what we came here to see.
Exactly. Out of the middle has been important. Lucky I interjected there because I knew the umpire was going to have a second crack at it, but you're dead right, Jess. Whoever's getting the centre clearance at the moment is certainly getting the advantage.
10-3 going Redland's way so far. Oh, coming through there is Templeton. Gets a kick around the corner. Bounces over the head of Freeman. Williams gathers for Redland. Billy Murphy tries to tackle and got him high. That's hard to do when you're Billy Murphy's size against Williams.
How's
Sends it
Adrian
out
Williams,
wide to Salter. Right half back, but he's turned it over. Ben Warren can send it inside 50. He's got Freeman in a bit of space. Can't find him. He tries to keep it alive. Bats it to his advantage, but eventually runs out of room. We'll have a throw in 20 metres around from Aspley's goal.
Adrian Williams might, when he retires, become an umpire. He actually stopped halfway in the contest, tapped his shoulder and said, hey, what about that? He's experienced. It was there. It was definitely there. So they've got to get a throw in the forward pocket for Aspley. They'd like to get a replying goal as we get into the latter part of this first quarter. Malone. Now there's a whistle on play. Umpire said there was a hold in the ruck contest. It's going to go against Malone, and it's going to go to the big engineer.
No.
Oh, no, hang on. It's Jake Spencer, sorry. I thought Will Walbers might have made his way down there. But so who would you back in a goal-kicking contest between Jake Spencer and Will Walbers? That's another question. Jake Spencer probably just for mine.
I think I'd have to go for the AFL experience on that one, Pricey.
He'll let go from about 35. Nice ball drop. Oh.
Commentator's curse.
A little bit too left. There you go. Well, let's see how Will goes next time he has a shot. So 1 behind, 3-1 plays 4-1.
Yagmore with the kick-in duties for Redland just winds up and absolutely blasted inside the centre square. Almost reaches the centre circle. Ball in dispute. Little quick kick from Cass. Now Malone comes in. Handball out to Batoli Simmons. He wants to move it quickly. Inside 50. Stanley be first to meet it for Aspley, but he can't gather it. Boyd Bailey picks it up, sends it towards the goal line. Coming through there first was Dawson. Gets a handball away just in time. And we will have a ball in. Quick transfer of play.
Again, that's where
right
they're going to get.
line.
They're going to get Aspley if they can open it up like they did against NT Thunder last week, Redland. But just noticing too, Clay Cameron, he's up and about today. Got a couple of goals. That was a great tackle in the forward pocket. Ball comes down now. Spencer, he takes it out of the ruck. He's taken down under the new rules as prior opportunity. That's not a free kick. So Lee Johnson was the tackler. Ball up. Goes back towards the boundary line. Picked up there by Stephen. Hooks it around. Top of the square. Big fly and good defence from Aspley, but it's going to come down for the Bombers. Good vision. Juggling effort in there. Once again, the Aspley defence have got it covered. They just got jumped all over their opponents in that regard. There's not a lot of room to move, Jess. We've seen it with both ends of the ground. Every set of players is basically forward of the halfway mark. So
Malone wins the head out to the goal line. No one there, though, and it's rushed through for a minor score. Redland 4-2-26, Aspley 3-1-19. We're into time on here. As the kick in comes, it's a dangerous kick in the corridor. Toy can gather, handballs to Arnold. Sends it inside the centre square. Williams against Gross. Williams wins out. Handballs to Hammerman a long way from home. Drives it towards centre half forward. Batoli Simmons drops what he should have taken. Still a chance though for the Bombers. Spence now on the run. Has a flying shot at goal, but it's across the face for a minor score. They almost made Aspley pay there on the rebound.
Yeah, it's just one of those, probably spent it before he got it, did Batoli Simmons, as Aspley bring the ball in. The long target here, it's going to kick it to the ruckman, Malone. It actually went over his head, and that's hard to do. At the back, Nellis tried to thump it forward. It was blocked by Miller. Takes it over the boundary line. Just to the right of us, and there's a little bit of stink on between Miller and Nellis. Right against the fence here. Giles is trying to drag the player off. Actually, see, they're still entangled here. It's been a free kick to Miller. Jono Giles The young man in Harrison Hunkin, who doesn't mind a little bit as the ball gets splayed over to the outer side. Redland is just going to play on and do the footy. Sol Cormack at right half forward. So a little bit of spite in this game as well. Puts it up there, looking for Hamilman. He had a shorter opponent there. Hamilman did beautifully at ground level. Ball around to Stephen. Stephen hooks it to the top of the square. And was that Boyd Bailey? Oh, it couldn't take the mark. Got another chance at it. Quick left foot snap. It must have just fired the Bombers up. Was that Patoli Simmons or Boyd Bailey again?
Boyd Bailey.
It was Boyd Bailey. I thought it was in the blue boots. So he gets his second, but that might have just given Redland, their home crowd, the whole vibe about it, just getting a little bit more menacing for Aspley.
Boyd Bailey's been involved in quite a few plays now for Redland. He's up to 5 disposals, 2 goals, and it's just his second efforts and to keep the ball alive and keep contesting for it, and that's what you need from Redland to be able to match it with some of these better sides in the competition.
We talked about skills and all of the wonderful stats and everything, but there's not a stat for intent. And what I'm seeing so far is intent, and especially building from Redland in the middle, and they're really making Aspley pay with a bit of their physicality at the moment.
So Redland up by 14 points now. 25 minutes gone in the opening term. Has been an entertaining first quarter here. Round 5 NEAFL action on NEAFL TV. It's from the restart. Malone gathers again. Handball can't find a target. Ives is wrapped up in a tackle, calling for high, and he gets it. Just an arm slipped over the shoulder there from Yagmore. So Ives can drive it into tack for Aspley. Williams comes across and takes almost an easy mark in the end. He just left Freeman and said, I'm going to go win this footy.
Adrian Williams, just grow in admiration for the man. It's Luke O'Sullivan now. I remember calling several years ago and Williams had a few extra kilos on, and he's dropped those, and boy, has he developed into one of the best defenders in the league, if not the. Ball down the outer side, over the boundary line. They're going to get another throw in. No, it's actually Pater that's holding the ball. I don't think the crowd beside me liked it either, but probably one of those 50-50 calls that went Aspley's way this time, and they come off half back.
This is Hayden for Aspley. Just winds up, send it down the outer side wing. Ball goes over the pack. Williams again comes through and meets it. Handballs to Cormack. Gets it onto Salter. Chips it in the Stephen direction. He takes a good mark. Had 2 to beat and did well. Stood his ground and took the mark. Still on the outer side wing. As the numbers flood back inside forward 50. Still relatively open though. They get it out the back. Kick into the pocket. Hamilman almost a push against Gross. Did the umpire call it?
No.
No, it's called a boundary throw in. Geez, if he took that mark, it was off. Had a bit of space. Did it? I guess cleverly because he got away with it.
Yeah, well, it's whether you put your arms there to brace or whether you use your arms forward to push, and it's probably in between the two, so a fair call. So throw in. Walbers gets it down for Aspley. Heads back towards the boundary line. Payne on the left foot. Oh, scrubs it forward, and it's cut off there by Billy Johnson. He wheels around onto the left foot. Here's a fly at the back. Hamilman went for the nudge out again. Beautifully rove there. But cut off again. The Aspley defence have got it covered. They've scrambling very well towards the boundary line. That's a free kick. And what's going on there now?
I think it was a non-officiating umpire called it.
From the furthest part of the ground almost, but was that a throw they've paid it as? Regardless, it's an Aspley free kick in the back pocket. It will relieve some pressure.
So Ives kicks across the face to Hayden. He's got Dawson down the commentary side wing. He wants to go shorter, but he's turned it over, and Boyd Bailey's going to run into an open goal. Is it curling back? It is! 3 goals for Boyd Bailey in the opening term, and Redland have the jump on Aspley.
Well, that was just an awful turnover that they paid full price for. Boyd Bailey, if he's in this vein of form...
He's on fire.
He's absolutely having a ripper so far today. Kicked it straight down his throat, and that was still a difficult angle to run in and kick it from 45, but the left foot, again, curling it nicely.
Yeah, we had a great view of it here from the commentary box.
Well, since Aspley hit the front, and they kicked the first 3 goals of the game, and Redland have replied with another 5 goals too since that point. So they've really made the big comeback, the Bombers.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking $1 million at the moment. We're still yetting to see Aspley fire, though.
No. But
they're just not clicking at the moment,
They've not been allowed to, and this is the thing. Out of the middle, this is where Redland have been dominant. Umpire Mellon puts it down. Spencer down the throat of Payne. That's better from the midfield. Giles back to Payne. Inside 50. Freeman makes his way to the front once again. Williams spoils that effort. Billy Murphy roving at the back. Big Will Walbers basically bent down and got in his way. There's a snap from Freeman. Oh, hits the post. Outside of the right foot. One behind results. So it's 6-3 playing 3-2. Very late in the first term on NEAFL TV. This is the Quandamooka Tourball Trophy. Redland versus Aspley.
So Yagmore with the kick in. Looks to go fairly short by his standards and hits Clay Cameron at left half back.
Got a little bit of elastoplast around the melon now, Clay Cameron.
So Redland will want to hold possession here and not concede another goal. They played extremely well in the first quarter, and just as I say that, Dawson comes through with the intercept mark. He's got to send it in there quickly, and his kick is wayward. I think it's going to go out of bounds on the full, and it is a wasted opportunity for Aspley. Just rushed that, I think Dawson did, and gifts possession back to Redland.
You could see what he was looking for. Jono Freeman on the lead, and he had a little bit of a break on Williams, just overcooked that kick. That's what a little bit of pressure does for you. Now Miller in the back pocket for the Bombers. Nobody really manning the mark closely, so he plays on, kicks long. That's not a bad effort there from Castledine. Back into the side. He gives it off to Freeman, who tries to don't argue, but it basically fends himself off over the boundary line. So we'll get another throw in the right forward pocket, just in front of the time clock in the dressing rooms, and it says we're very late in the first term on NEAFL TV. Hope you're enjoying the stream.
30 minutes gone now. Malone wins another hit up, but straight down to Payne. Can't find a target though. And now I think this ball's going to be rushed through, and it is. Payne almost probably should have had a shot. I think he tried to find Hampton on the inside. As Yagmore brings it back in for Redland and hits, I think it's O'Sullivan in there in the pocket.
So 3 goals straight, the lead now for the Bombers. That's a long kick from O'Sullivan right against the boundary line. It's taken over by the Aspley defence, Bolch. And there'll be a throw in front of the vacant scoreboard. We've got the electronic one just to the right of it. Beautiful day for footy here in southeast Queensland. No wind to speak of, not a cloud in the sky, and the ground is a picture. Now Redland, gee, their clearance work is good. Franks inside 50. Gross, well, he read it well, broke away. He had to affect the contest because Hamilman peeled backwards, did well in the end. Long kick down the outer side. Redland are going to get it back though, no. Boundary line beats them all. It was a throw in. He really took a punt there, Gavin Gross.
Yeah, experience showed there, didn't he? What we love about Gav Gross is that he'll back himself. He's a great reader of the play, and on that occasion, when you go, you've got to go, and he did absolutely that. Well done to Gav Gross. He's thrown on the outer wing. Spencer, second effort. Handballs to Payne. Takes one bounce. Just a high kick up towards half forward. Walbers read that well over Mills and takes the mark just inside 50. He wants to square it inboard, and he finds Jono Giles, who's marked 45 metres out on a slight angle.
So Jono Giles involved with Scott Miller on the boundary just a little earlier. Both ruffled each other a tad. Let's see if he can... Oh no, he's going to play on. Here we go.
Gav Gross winds up from outside 50. It's a set play, and he just fades to the left. How often have we seen that? Little handball off to, it's either Gav Gross or Jackson Allen that will wind up from outside 50. On that occasion, didn't quite have the accuracy.
Well, if you got those weapons, should choose to use them, as Yagmore just chips it forward, keeps possession. The Bombers really have done well in the second half of this quarter. That was Stallard. Now he's going to go long. Down the wing, Spencer over the top and Gavin Gross. They both go over the top of Malone, thump it over the boundary line, and that is quarter time. And what a great quarter it was for the Bombers too. After a reasonably slow start, they hit the lead and kept it. 6-3-39, plays 3-4-22 for the Bombers. Your goal scorers, Boyd Bailey on fire has got 3, Clay Cameron with a couple, and Hunkin Harrison has got 1. Who else am I missing? Oh, no, that's 3, 5, 6, that'll do. Okay, so, and for Aspley, you've got Freeman, Bolch and Hampton. Wasted a few opportunities, though, in the first quarter, the Aspley Hornets.
They did. But all credit to Redland. They're winning it out of the middle, and it's even more impressive given the fact that Jack Rolls is out. He's obviously their leading clearance winner so far in 2019, so they've done extremely well. Franks has been in amongst it. Sol Cormick as well. Malone is having a great work in the ruck, and Boyd Bailey's just been on fire out forward. They're looking the goods, so let's see if they can carry it on in the second term.
At quarter time, it is Redland leading 6-3-39 to Aspley 3-4-22. 17 points the margin. They lead the Quandamooka Toorball Trophy for 2019. We'll be back with the second quarter very shortly on NEAFL TV. Welcome back to Scottsdale Park for NEAFL TV Round 5. It's the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy, the annual clash between Redland and Aspley as part of the Indigenous round. Michael Price and Jess Webster calling your action. And Jess, it was a big first quarter. Redland took more of their chances to have a 17-point lead at quarter time.
Yeah, I think they did. I think Aspley had their chances in attack, but it was Redland who obviously got the ball between the two big sticks, which is the aim of the game. So they're looking very dynamic and exciting when going forward. So I think Aspley need to find a bit of that spark as well, but it all starts in the middle because Redland have been getting quite a lot of clearances in the centre.
Umpire Andrew Adair in the middle. Let's see what happens now between Malone and Jake Spencer. Give that one to Spencer. Payne overruns it. Malone gets involved at ground level. Redland doing very well in the clinches, but well done to Templeton, and got it back to Giles for Aspley. Puts it inside 50 and on the lead hits Nellis.
Better from Aspley, isn't it?
Better movement out of the middle. Nellis now pops it up to the goal square. Tapped over the back. Oh, towed off the deck. Was that Billy Murphy who got a foot to it? It was. Little Box Hill Billy. A little bit of roving. Got it on the foot from close quarters, and that's the perfect start for the Hornets here. 4-4-28. Now they trail Redland 6-3-39, so it's an 11-point ball game.
It's another example of whoever's winning it out of the middle. Like 9 times out of the 10, we've got to find the inside 50 efficiency rate. I'll try and dig it up at half time, but the conversion from centre clearance inside 50 goal, they're just looking really dangerous. Whoever's winning it out of the middle just makes it even more crucial to win this centre bounce clearance.
The new structure of the 6-6-6 does open it up too for the forwards, the one-on-ones. So if you do get that quick centre clearance, you get those genuine one-on-one contests. Proves to be very interesting in some dry weather.
So margin back to 11 points. Out of the middle is Payne. Wins a clearance for Aspley. Inside 50 over the head of Nellis. Freeman versus Williams. Williams does well, gathers it, fires out a handball towards the boundary line. Bertoli Simmons against Gowers. It was Payne who handballed back to Gowers. Little chip kick inside 50. Hampton first to meet it. Can't gather it, taps it backwards to Payne. Now he tries to spot up a target, instead turns it over, and Stephen Mills takes a defensive mark. Yeah,
just tried to measure that pass, and that was a good kick too to get Redland out of trouble. Here comes Boyd Bailey. Oh, he's had a blinder, but he's dropped a pud there. Picked up by Templeton, lowers the eyes, uses the left foot, and then turns it over the head of his intended target. Malone with the handball. Mills, good smothering effort there from the Aspley player. Keeps it involved. No, he called it a throw. Flicked it back, did Billy Murphy, into the hands of Jono Freeman, but umpire called it a throw. Fair enough, he scooped it.
So Redland get out of trouble with that one as Mills drives it outside defensive 50. Dawson with the fist down to Warren. Handballs backwards to Stanley. He's under pressure though by Cormick, and the ball spills out of bounds before a boundary throw, and left half forward for the Hornets.
So Ben Warren been a little quiet today for Aspley so far, the experienced footballer as well.
Former co-captain the last couple of years. Team of the Year member last year. Ball comes in, Malone wins it down, but it'll go back out of bounds again. McGannon can't quite get there in time. We will do it all again.
Matthew McGannon, another one who's nominated for the mid-year draft in the AFL.
Member of the TAC Cup Team of the Year last year before it was turned into the NAB League this year. So quality player that Redland recruited in the off-season.
Malone, Spencer works his way to the front, taps it down. Well done by Franks. Good clearance work. It's a good kick as well. Puts the pressure on the Aspley defence. Gross comes in. Well done to Jackson Allen, who was part of the initial contest. Kicks it inside 50, but once again, Stephen Mills read it best, dropped back and took a good defensive mark.
Switches it out wide. Bertoli Simmons comes through. Handball's inboard to Mills, wrapping up his Stackelberg, and they've turned it over. Gow is now on the rebound for Aspley. Chips it to Freeman, who's marked just inside forward 50, right half forward against the boundary line. He's got a man in space in Hampton, pops it over the top, and has improved the distance, but not the angle, and this is still a tough shot from the boundary line.
Yeah, well, if anybody's going to pull it off, it will be Lonnie Hampton. Got some exquisite skills, and he does love a goal. That's the main thing.
Plenty of X factor. Plays an exciting role for Aspley in this lineup. So this to bring the margin back to 5 points in what's been a high-scoring affair so far, as Hampton from 40 metres out against the boundary line. And I think that's through. Fantastic goal from Lonnie Hampton. And now we're back within a kick.
Couple there for Lonnie Hampton now. And that's good movement from Aspley. Straight out of the middle again. That clearance work is absolutely vital, but again, I keep saying it, when you've got the weapons, use them. And Lonnie Hampton can kick a goal from basically anywhere with inside 40-50. So
it was a wonderful execution. I thought everyone sort of just stopped when it went through, and I thought, it must be behind because the players aren't getting around it. It was a wonderful kick.
I think they were in shock.
Yeah.
That was basically it. So we're only 5 points away now. Aspley against Redland. Really good contest for this round 5 NEAFL TV clash, the Quandamuka Toorball Trophy. Part of the Indigenous round as well. Umpire Adair's going to bang it in the middle. Big Craig Malone versus Jake Spencer. Spencer will get this one. Big contest. Toy. Ball spills. It's hacked forward for Aspley. Once again, the Redland defence had the numbers. It's punched towards the boundary line. Aspley should get there first with Nellis. He was appealing for the free kick, pushing the back. He got it too. So James Nellis hard pressed against the boundary line. He's going to put it to a dangerous position, top of the square. Freeman the target. He flies. Well done from Malone, who dropped back in defensive mode. Salter tackled. Ball's going to get stuck there. It was actually Williams that's going to come up with the ball. Then we'll get another ball up in a dangerous spot for Aspley. They're doing all the attacking in this second quarter so far. Malone. Through hands now. Redland can't extract it. Billy Murphy in tight quarters gets tackled to the ground. Had plenty of prior opportunity. No free kick for holding. We'll get another ball up. Similar spot.
It's nearly 6 minutes played. 2 goals to Aspley so far in this second quarter, and they're pressing for a third. So you see another great defensive tackle. I think it was Boyd Bailey who laid that one. No, Craig Malone. Bit of a size difference there between those two.
I'd rather be tackled by Boyd Bailey.
So from the ball up, we're close to the boundary line. It's been pushed over the line and we'll have a throw in.
No offence to Boyd Bailey's tackling style, but the postman's got about 20 kilos on him, I reckon.
Potentially more. He's 115.
115 now.
Yeah. 112, I think.
Be a hard boy to move. Throw in now. Man, we're talking about Malone. Gets the tap down. Now there's been a whistle on play. Player taken without the ball. It will be an Aspley free kick. It's going to go to John O'Giles. The antagonist, John O'Giles, is going to have a shot at goal from around about 35, 45-degree angle to the right. And this will put Aspley in front for the first time since around about 14 minutes into the game.
It's been a good fight back so far from the Hornets in the second quarter. Redland started the game on fire, so this is a big kick.
John O'Giles leans back, sprays it to the right. Again, chances not being taken. One behind, so it's only a 4-point game. The Bombers still lead it.
Stallard to bring it in for the Bombers. Short spearing kick is a good one to Bertoli Simmons. Still inside defensive 50. So trying to maintain possession here, Bertoli Simmons. Is that a jumper change?
I think we do have a
14.
jumper change.
Looks like Harry Hunkin, I think, is now in number 14. So I'm thinking that's not Jack Rolls. Down the wing, and Malone marks uncontested, and a clever handball in the path of Johnson, but he's corralled by Craven. Does almost a 360, sends it inboard, but will turn it over, and Toy takes the mark. Centre half back for Aspley. Wobbly kick inside the centre square. Stallard comes out to meet it. Cormick back to Stallard. Now to Yagmore. Approaches forward 50 and let's go. But God, that would have been a great goal. Sprays it to the left for a minor score. Redland 6-4-40. Aspley 5-5-35.
Again, good movement from Redland. They look a lot more fluent if they get the opportunity to transition through the middle. Here's Gross, though. Talk about weapons. Long left foot kick. Hits the wing now. Giles at the back. Can't control it. He's hassled off it by Stallard, who promotes it forward. Well done. Salter toes it. It's picked up there by Billy Johnson. Has a ping at it from 45. Sprays it so wide, it's not going to score. It's out of bounds on the full, and a free kick will go to Gavin Gross in the right back pocket.
A couple of skill areas have crept in, but the intensity is certainly there, isn't it? Like the next goal is a really important one. Margin 5 points. Long kick outside defensive 50. Falls into the lap of Billy Murphy, who marks it right half back. So Murphy, a low worm burner, but he's turned it over directly to Bertoli Simmons. Now he sends it back into attack. Stanley drops the mark. Now ball at ground level in dispute, but that's going nowhere. And it'll be a ball up. 30 metres out directly in front of Redland's goal.
Great tackle from Billy Johnson there. Just kept the ball trapped in the area. Let's see what happens now. Malone's going to be up against Big Will Walbers. Malone gets the tap down. Aspley with the numbers. Handball puts lots of people under pressure. It's going to be towed off the deck, Cormac, and it hits the boot of Gross, and it goes out of bounds on the full. It's just very unlucky, but it will be a free kick, and it will go to Redland. Who's going to be responsible for taking it here?
Oh,
It will be
Christensen.
Christensen. He's a little goal sneak forward who runs over to the fence to extract the ball. It's my kick, sir. Well played. So Aaron Christensen back in the side this week. He'll just step forward and curl this around with the right foot. Does so and hits the right goal post.
He would have loved that.
He would have loved it. The crowd would have loved it as well. So it's back to a 3-point ball. It's back to a 6-point ball game.
Jackson Allen just loads up, and that's a 60-metre kick to the outer side wing. Freeman can't mark. Now Walsh, a little high up and under kick. And it's Aspley who'll come away with it. Warren, but it's intercepted by Stephen. He wheels around, and that is not his best kick, but he's lucky he's got Hunkin in space inside the centre square. Measures the kick inside 50 and finds Tom Salter in space. Lowered the eyes, picked out a target and hit it. Great job, Hunkin. And now he's dished off to Yagmore, who unloads from 50 and misses again. Second chance in a matter of minutes for Yagmore. They're peppering here, the Bombers. Margin 7 points. 3
straight behinds to the Bombers. A couple of them could have been goals. Stallard now fists it forward. Liam Dawson's going to rove it for Aspley. Chips it down the line. Target intended was Stackelberg. Good pass, well taken. In front of Hunkin, who's changed his jumper from 23 to 14. Now at the back, Ben Warren for Aspley from 45. It was a reasonably lazy effort. I thought he had a little bit more time than that, Ben Warren, and goes through for one behind.
I think he actually tried to hit Payne in the goal square instead of having the shot himself. I think he should have backed himself on that one.
So Aspley 5-6 to the Bombers 6-6.
So Williams out to the commentary side wing. Hunkin against Stackelberg, and Stackelberg flies across and takes the intercepting mark. He's got Walbers streaming inside 50. He sends it to a dangerous spot in the corridor. Who can fly? And it's Freeman who did, and Freeman who marked.
He was out of position for all money there. He's almost dragged it in with the one mitt, as Kanga likes to say, the big ones that he likes to do the arm curls down at Noosa Beach. Well, that come in handy because it's just lobbed into his hand, and he's curled it back up. Brilliantly done.
So this to bring it back, or this to draw scores level. At the 12-minute mark of the second quarter, it's been all Aspley in this second quarter after Redland led by 17 points at quarter time. As Freeman comes in and he just misses to the right. That's now 5 consecutive behinds between both sides. They definitely had their chances. Margin 5 points now.
So we've got a tight one here. NEAFL TV round 5. Michael Price and Jess Webster calling all of your action as Yagmore plays on for the Bombers. Beautiful long kick into the centre of the ground. Looking there for Clay Cameron. Aspley have got a few numbers there. They hold the ball up. But Redland wouldn't mind that at all. It's like another centre bounce for them. And the umpire's going to come in and throw it up. Malone's going to amble in, as does Jake Spencer. A few more numbers around the ball, though, this time. Call that a draw, but it's picked up there for Aspley by Templeton. Kicks it inside 50. Punched away from Freeman by Williams. Freeman's going to get it back, though. He's going to have a ping at it. It's going to bounce. Will it bounce? To the right it bounced. One behind. So 6 behinds in a row between the two sides. Jess, peppering, but not scoring.
Next goal's going to bring the house down, I reckon. The crowd are wanting it. The crowd are wanting a goal. So Yagmore to bring it in for the Bombers. Midway stages of the second term. Goes one way and then the other. Left foot kick out in the Ratton direction. One-on-one contest, ball goes to ground. It's Gowers and O'Sullivan in there. Eventually it's one out by Spence. Handball out to Ratton, the debutant. Over to Stephen, gets around Gross, but didn't see Bolch coming through from behind, and that is holding the ball. And Bolch is quick to move on, chips it into the direction of Spencer, and he marks just inside the boundary line.
Oh, he's going to play on. Handball to Ives. Ives chips inside 50. Williams basically pushed out of the way as Walbers comes through. Ball's going to get stuck underneath there. It was Hampton going in, and Yagmore, and we'll get a ball up. So once again, a physical act is what ignites the side. A good tackle by Bolch. The ball inside 50 for Aspley. Spencer gets it down. Once again, Stackelberg tackled there by Cass. Ball's underneath and the umpire comes in, hugs himself again. Umpire Chris Mellon, and we'll do it all again from about 25 metres. Every player on the ground is in front of the centre circles. All but about 8 of them are in the 50. Plucked out of the air by Walbers, and it's a rolling maul rugby style, and we'll get another one 15 metres out.
Aspley have done well. Majority of the play this quarter has been in their forward 50, not even the forward half of the ground. It's been locked in there many times, so can they manufacture a goal out of it? It's from the restart. Toy with the snap. It's another behind.
It's brilliantly done by Walbers to get the ball out to him as well, but he just didn't capitalise, and that's been the tale of the tape so far in the second quarter as Redland bring the ball back in. Harry Hunkin now. Just tries to measure it to the boundary line. Jeez, it was a good kick, and it was a good mark too by Billy Johnson right on the boundary line. So Johnson, long down the outer wing. Jake Spencer had the sit, got rid of Malone, got rid of the big man and just took the mark. He's going to look for a longer target. He does so. Inside 50. At the back, Freeman. Then goes to Rovey's own ball. Aspley with the numbers. Stackelberg back inside 50. Ben Warren uses his body well, but so too. That's a great bit of defence by Tommy Salter when you consider the size difference as well. Good mark taken under pressure.
2012 Grogan medalist is Salter. Can't play the game. It's now one-on-one contest. There's going to be a free kick here. It's going Ratton's way for a hold. So Ratton switches inboard. Dangerous kick, but it's a good one and finds Franks, who's had a great game so far, the youngster, former Lions Academy member. Drills it to nearly the centre circle and finds McGannon. McGannon quick to move it on to Johnson, who winds up, sends it in the Hamilman direction against Gross. Couldn't mark. Gross just escorts it over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in. I think just mistimed that one a little bit, Hamilman.
Just a little, and he was still appealing for the deliberate Gross going over the boundary line, but nothing happening there. So it's a perfect attacking position for the Bombers. They're still leading by 5 points. Sorry, 3 points. Can't read my own writing, Jess. There's John O'Giles from the contest. Kicks long down the line. Williams read it best. Oh, good effort there, though, from Freeman to get rid of both Williams and then take the mark. Spears it towards Hampton. Electric skills. Lonnie Hampton bursts inside 50. 2 bounces. Runs to 30 and goes wobbly. One behind. Talk about ruin the theatre. Champion. Could have been goal of the year.
Oh, it's a great effort. It wasn't against Harry Hunkin. He'll learn something from that one-on-one contest, I think. Lonnie Hampton with the skills. Yagmore brings it back in. Tolly Simmons against Payne. Over the head of both. Dawson mops up for Aspley. Little inboard kick to Templeton. Couldn't grab it on the half volley. Coming through is Walsh for Redland. To Johnson. Just toes it forward. Cameron picks up, evades one. Handball's inboard to Cormack through the centre of Scottsdale Park. Just a high kick, didn't quite get the connection. Now it's a foot race coming. Oh, Ives overran it. Then Hamilman picks it up. Handball's to O'Sullivan, who wheels around, lowers the eyes, and taking the mark on the 50-metre line is Cameron, and then he chips it into space and finds Christensen.
Oh, men everywhere still. If he doesn't turn his back, he's got a bloke in the goal square. Just waving there, saying, what about me, Jack Ratton?
Poor first gamer.
Oh, well. You want to make sure you kick it if you turn your back on it, that's for sure.
So Christensen to restore an 8-point lead after 7 consecutive behinds from both sides, and he makes it 8. 8 consecutive behinds. Actually, I think it's more than that.
You'll have to take off the shoes and socks to be counting all of those behinds. Jess, we're back to a 3-point margin regardless. Here's Ben Warren on the move down the outer side. Beautiful ball to Nellis. Looping a handball over the top now. Templeton to Hampton. Here we go, Lonnie. You've had a sighter. Now go boom. No, the other side. As the crowd in the Redland Social Club to the left. Absolutely love it.
We've had, since Aspley kicked the first 2 goals of this quarter, it's now 2 goals 7 to 0 goals 4. 11 consecutive behinds between the two sides.
So they are having a crack at it. Now here we go. Ratton into the middle. Spears it to Boyd Bailey. He's got people running everywhere, but Holly Simmons was by himself in the middle. Hits it towards Christensen. Aspley with the numbers. Dawson tackled there by Ratton. And the umpire says no prior, wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up right on 50.
Lucky, I think, to get away with that one, Pricey, holding the ball for mine.
Well, he took him on, didn't he? It was a good tackle.
So Malone wins the hit out and then tries to win himself another possession. Couldn't gather it though. Batoli Simmons wrapped up by Spencer, and that is a sling tackle. And it's on again.
Oh.
Almost 50 metres, I think, that one from Spencer.
So Batoli Simmons is going to have the kick. It's got a little bit of starch in it, this contest, as it should. It's a great fixture on the calendar.
So Batoli Simmons will have the kick. He'll have to kick it all of 53 metres. Has he got the journey, Pricey?
I'll back him to hit the top of the square.
So Redland for a captain's goal. He's made great purchase on that one. What a goal from Batoli Simmons. Breaks the drought with a fantastic goal from outside 50, does the captain. Redland back out to 8 points. What a moment.
That is a moment, and there was much rejoicing to our left in the social club as Batoli Simmons put it through. Just didn't look like missing once it hit his boot. He's a quality user of the footy, as we've said before. But more vitally, that gives Redland an 8-point buffer, 16 scoring shots to 14 in favour of Aspley at this stage. But 5-11 to the Hornets. They have kicked 2 goals, 7, as you said, up until this point. So they've had their chances, haven't taken them. A couple of open goals from Lonnie Hampton as well. But when the chances are there, and they'll continue to come, momentum swings either way. So well done to the Bombers for holding it right now. That's their first goal for the quarter as well. So Malone back in the middle. Basically roves his own agate. Oh, shows some weaving. But he gets the ball slapped out of his hands. Now it's Sol Cormack. That's a wobbler inside 50. Watch for the fly at the back. It was Gross actually with a double fist. Batoli Simmons couldn't quite get it. Great handball back to him. Batoli Simmons now on the right shoe from 40. Has a ping and misses to the left. Another behind, 7-8-50, plays 5-11-41, 9 points the margin. The Bombers lead. We played about 23 minutes of this second quarter on NEAFL TV.
So Jackson Allen, the co-captain, descended back into play for Aspley. Long kick inside the centre square. Malone against Wolvers. Malone read that better. Takes the mark inside the centre square. Having a blinder of the year so far.
Pass.
Beautiful pass to Damien Stephen on the lead.
He's showing everything now, Malone. But he was very one-dimensional several years ago. One-dimensional ruckman, obviously. But here we go. There's another play on.
So Stephen has handballed to Yagmore, ran into each other, and that is the third miss for Yagmore from a similar distance in this quarter. He handballed to him, and then they ran into each other. Didn't quite execute that one perfectly, did the Bombers. A minor score, Gav Gross to bring it back in for the Hornets.
Yeah, we're just talking about Craig Malone and how he's improved in his general game, his marking around the ground, his defensive efforts, his tackling. He's also using the ball well. And there's a bloke who uses the ball well 98% of the time, Gavin Gross. That's as rare as the rocking horse droppings, that he will kick it outside the boundary line on the full when bringing it back in. So it's a free kick to the Bombers. It'll go to Boyd Bailey. In the shade of the benches, he runs back out into the sunlight. Went to sell the dummy. It wasn't bought. He kicks it inside attacking 50, and good defensive mark there taken by Jack Stanley.
It's Jordan Hayden.
Jordan Hayden, sorry.
So back out to the commentary side wing. Malone again just worked his body to get front spot. Handballs to Johnson, who drives it back into attack for the Bombers. Dawson comes through with a fist against Christensen, kills the contest, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Craig Malone is having not only a fantastic game, fantastic season. He's killing it.
He's in rare form, isn't he? Big unit too, as we say. The man's carrying around a couple of humans in weight. Throw in, right forward pocket. This time Malone butters up. Goes after Spencer's tap. It goes towards the boundary line though, and it's scored over by Batoli Simmons. Another throw in.
It was right before Pricey. He's 115 kilos and 198 centimetres. So.
115. Well, some blokes have struggled to bench press that, including me.
So in the shadows of halftime, Bombers are in attack. Almost a free for high there, not paid. Warren comes through. Handball into more in hope than anything. Toy tries to bat it on. Spencer on his hands and knees. Now Toy trying to come out. Tackled by Walsh. And Batoli Simmons laying a defensive tackle. And we'll have a ball up just inside forward 50 for Redland.
There's a little bit more going on there too. There's Ben Warren. Tries to get Craven away from Christensen. Game goes on though. The ball rolls back towards the blokes that were wrestling. That's hilarious. They were wrestling, the ball rolled underneath them and got stuck there. So the umpire says, I'm going to have to pull it up and break up the wrestle at the same time. It's still going on. Ben Warren will not let go of Batoli Simmons and vice versa, but Batoli Simmons comes up with the ball. That was amusing. It was Malone again taps it down. Craven couldn't get it. Warren fired up now, kicks the ball towards Nellis. Full-chested, takes the mark, turns around left foot to Stackelberg. Good body work, well done there by Hunkin, but Stackelberg butters up. Hunkin tackles in. Redland, will they control it? No, it's going to come through for Aspley. Now this bloke won't miss, surely. No, he wouldn't. Matthew Payne, MVP 3. Just steady. If you're going to have the ball in somebody's hands in that environment after you've kicked about 8 behind straight, it will be Matt Payne. So that's a relieving goal for Aspley. 6-11-47 plays Redland 7-9-51. So it's now 4 points to the margin, and this game is an absolute belter.
Oh, it's a cracking game so far. Payne is up to 13 disposals, leading all comers on the ground. Now can add a goal to his 3 clearances and 3 inside 50s as well. Tom Soldier's up to 10 disposals for the Bombers. So it's just great footy. There's feeling in it, Pricey. You can see how much both these sides want to win. As we mentioned, Redland 1-3 coming in today. Aspley 0-3, still searching for the first victory of the season, and they'll have to earn it. So we're back in the middle. 27 minutes played in this second term. Redland by 4 points. Spencer wins the hit out. Straight down to Ives, throws it on the boot. Pack forms. Billy Murphy can't come through and gather it. Stackelberg almost taken off and getting a free kick, but then the quick kick out has been marked by Spencer. It all happened in a flurry, and now he will line up for a shot on goal.
A few of the Redland players suggesting that ball only travelled about 11.5 metres.
So I was surprised it was called the mark. Here we go, Spencer from inside the centre square. He loads up. It hasn't got the accuracy, out of bounds on the full. Definitely didn't have the accuracy.
Well, that breeze, if there is any breeze whatsoever, it will be pushing that end, the left of screen, towards that right goalpost. But it is very, very marginal, and you probably just have to say it hit the side of his shoe as opposed to affected by the wind. That kick wasn't affected, though. It's going to be Aspley with the ball. They're going to bring it back in from right half forward. Another opportunity for the Hornets. To the top of the square, big man Spencer at the back. Mark was taken, or was there a push? Now we've had play on advantage. It was Bolch who actually played on, had a snap and banged it through. He's claiming the goal. Umpire's going to bring it back. And it's going to go to the big man. Will Walbers, the engineer's got a chance to put his name in lights.
Not sure why that wasn't advantage.
Well, perhaps there was the break in play. Umpire thought there was a significant enough break in play to say there was no advantage. Will Walbers What can he do here, the big man? Oh, that's a wasted opportunity from so close for Aspley. 6 goals, 12, 48 now. 3 points the margin, but that's 18 scoring shots to 16. Aspley wasting their chances.
Absolutely. Redland have done well to withstand a bit of a storm here in the second quarter. They hold the lead approaching half-time. It's Dawson,
oh,
boys!
you beauty!
Fantastic mark there by Dawson. He'll send it back inside. Forward 50 for the Hornets. Can there be another mark taken? Walbers drops it. Murphy roves, snaps, and he's got it through. What about a bit of an exciting play there by Aspley Hornets? Capped off with a snap goal from Billy Murphy, and they've hit the front.
Second goal for Billy Murphy, but how about Liam Dawson? If that is not the NEAFL Mark of the Week and a contender for Mark of the Year, I'm not standing here at Scottsdale Park. That was exquisite.
Oh, we had such a great view of it as well in the commentary position right in front of us here on NEAFL TV. Wonderful fly from Dawson.
It's a good ground for it. Of course, Clay Cameron, Mark of the Year a couple of years ago here, just at the other end, but on this side. But beautiful thing. Got to love that. It's a great part of our game.
So how about that? Another twist in the tail, Pricey, in the shadows of half-time. Aspley have now hit the front by 3 points.
4 goals, 8 to the Hornets in this quarter. As they get it down now, Redland, they'll extract the ball now through Spence. Wobbly one towards Clay Cameron. It bounces past he and his opponent. Aspley did a very good job in defence there. Jordan Hayden it was who just extracted the ball, but there's a push in the back. It's going to come back to Aspley. It'll go to Reece Toy against Miller. Toy's at the back of the centre square. He'll just chip it back to Hayden. He's going to be under a bit of pressure from Christensen, so he has to take off. His target, Gross. The veteran just went up a little bit too early, but it was a Shepherd against Hamilton, so Gross plays on, ambles inside 50 and drills it to the leader, Freeman. So fortuitous there. Gross went up a little earlier, but accentuated the fact that the Redland player in Hamilton was coming back to take the space.
It was really smart, though, to have the awareness to play on, hit Freeman in space, though. Freeman, again, had the awareness to make sure he got himself in a position. So they played it really well, did Gross and Freeman.
So Jono Freeman, let's see what he can do. Again, distance not an issue for him. He'll kick this from just on 50. Delightfully struck. Beautiful kick there from Jono Freeman. Gets his second goal, and Aspley get there 8-12-60. They've now got a 9-point lead over Redland. And for the Hornets so far today, 5 goals, 8 in this quarter. What could have been, it's kept Redland in the game as well. Redland with a few of their own chances that they've squandered. They've kicked the 1 goal, 6 in this quarter.
We mentioned it at quarter time, how Redland, they started the game so well, but the next step for Redland is to, I think we're seeing a free kick off the ball, I think.
Now, it's dead set on again. I reckon Liam Dawson has got into... There's a Redland player down. Liam Dawson was the one who did a flyby, and he's been accosted by a couple of Redland players. We wouldn't have got it anywhere near the cameras, but Phil Carse is going to get the free kick.
So the feeling definitely hasn't dissipated in this contest as Carse winds up from 51 metres. He hooks it across the face. The ball's still live though, but the siren beats them all, and that's half-time here at Scottsdale Park.
Oh, it's not over yet, Jess. It's not over yet. Now, free kicks can't be given now, but certainly there can be names in books, as Liam Dawson is copping some serious attention from a few of the Redland players at the top of the goal square. Adrian Williams is doing his very best to break it up. A few players as well. Just more push me, shove you, but it's getting in the face of each other. This game has had a lot of feeling in it. As it's breaking up, there's a few little pushes. And there'll be a few jumper changes, methinks, at half-time, because there's a few of these wonderful Indigenous jerseys have been stretched and ripped. So we might have another few number changes as they walk off the field. We'll just
Problem
our...
is that the change rooms are all in the one spot, so they're all walking in the same direction, Pricey, so they can't exactly...
straight up the same race.
Yeah.
You imagine
Bit
this,
awkward.
You imagine this happening in the VFL back in the 80s as they're walking up the same race. This could be very ugly. No, the boys, the heat's on. There's a few words being exchanged as well. But the umpires have stepped into the middle of it. Well controlled, lads. And they're escorting Redland into their home change rooms, and everybody's safely hunkered down for half time. Jess, it was a cracking first half, but at the half, it is Aspley 8-12-60 leading Redland 7-9-51. That's after Redland led by 17 points at quarter time. So big comeback in the second quarter from Aspley.
And as I was saying before, how Redland at quarter time, we spoke about how they've started the game so well. Their intensity was up. They were winning the clearances, had a really open, dynamic forward line and producing scoring opportunities. The next step for Redland is to do that over 4 quarters. And Aspley, they hit back in that second quarter. And Redland did well, I think, to stem the flow. And obviously it was 13 scoring shots that Aspley had for 5 goals. So I think they did well, but I think maybe the game is starting to shift into Aspley's favour. So Redland have to come out in the second half and make sure they can just hold their own and take their opportunities when they can.
And we'll be back with the second half very shortly. This is the Quandamooka Tooble Trophy, Round 5, NEAFL TV. The Redland Bombers at home to the Aspley Hornets. And we'll be back with the second half very shortly on NEAFL TV. Welcome back to Scottsdale Park in Victoria Point. It's the home of the Redland Bombers. We're here for NEAFL TV, round 5. It's the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy. It's an annual event on the NEAFL fixture. And boy, it's been a cracking game so far. Redland, after leading by 17 points at quarter time, now trail Aspley by 9 points at half time, 8-12-60 to 7-9-51. The goal scorers for Redland, Boyd Bailey started on fire with 3. Harrison Hunkin's got 1, Clay Cameron with a couple, and Batoli Simmons has got 1. For Aspley, Billy Murphy, Jonathan Freeman, Lonnie Hampton have all got 2. Tom Bolsh and Matt Payne with a goal apiece. Michael Price and Jess Webster calling all of your action. Jess, you've got some great stats for us as well.
Well, it just makes it interesting reading at half-time, Pricey, where basically even in most of the key stats areas. So hit-outs at 25-20 Redland's way. Clearances 19-16 Aspley's way, and inside 50s at 34-27 Aspley's way. Obviously, we knew they had such a weight of possession in the forward 50 in the second term. So it's just a great contest at the moment. We've got a bit of feeling in it. We've got lots of goals, a great battle in the midfield. I just can't wait for the second half.
Couple of jumper changes as well after that just pre-half-time melee. Jordan Hayden moves from number 2 to number 40. Liam Dawson from 24 to 29. Really looking forward to the second half. This is Jess Webster.
Spencer and Malone in the ruck. That one to Spencer, down to Giles. He evades a tackle, then screws it around the corner. Inside 50, Yagmore has one hand to it, can't collect. Toy now, little up and under kick. Nellis gets there in time and takes the diving mark.
Once again, it's that clearance work out of the middle, isn't it, Jess? You sort of leave those one-on-ones, and James Nellis, this isn't out of his possibilities either. Really good striker of the ball.
So Nellis comes back into the side today after a broken thumb. Has missed a bit of footy so far in 2019. He'll love a goal here to start the second half. Let's go from 45, close to the boundary line, and that is a beautiful execution from James Nellis. So Aspley draw first blood in the third term. They now lead it by 15 points, 9-12-66 to 7-9-51.
Great strike from James Nellis, and he is a weapon too. Prolific scorer of goals on his day. And there it is, 1 shot at goal, 1 goal. We saw in the second quarter they scored 5 goals, 8 from their numerous forays inside attacking 50, wasting their chances, and 100% record so far in the third quarter. That's what Aspley need to do, is take their chances. Redland, they frittered a few away in the second quarter as well. They had a run of 4 behinds in a row before they cracked a goal.
This is Aspley's biggest lead of the match so far, Pricey, at 15 points.
Well, they trailed by 17 at quarter time, so it's a big turnaround. We're back into the middle. The Malone, the postman for Redland, can't quite get the ball. Ives does for Aspley. Skies it inside 50. Nellis has it punched away from it. Miller, good handball over to Stallard now. Gets around his opponent, or puts Sol Cormack under a lot of pressure. Batoli Simmons helped him out though. Loops one over the top to Cass. Cass down the outer side. Big fly at the back, and that's a good mark taken by Liam Dawson, now wearing number 29 for Aspley.
Dawson just scrubs it inside the centre square. Hayden collects, kick towards outer side wing. Ball in dispute. Picking up is Cass, out to Cormack, just slaps it in the direction of Batoli Simmons, but boundary line and beat everyone. Will have a throw in, wing position outer side.
So, beautiful day here, as we've said before. Scottsdale Park surface is absolutely magnificent. We'll see Jake Spencer for Aspley and Malone in the ruck. Call that one a draw. I reckon Malone got around his neck there, but Batoli Simmons extracts it. Gross, he got front position. Hamilton punched it towards the boundary line, and another throw in. Tommy Salter escorts it over. Another throw in on the outer side. We've got Redland trailing by 15 points at the minute. Aspley with the only score of this third quarter.
Ball back into play. Give that one to Malone, who can win it out of the middle. Toe poke from Ives. Miller can't gather. Now Walsh has a crack, turns around, sends it back towards half forward. Christensen can't mark it, falls at his feet. Now it's inside forward 50. Arnold first to meet it for the Hornets. Handballs backwards to Dawson. Has a bit of time to measure and deliver a beautiful pass to Jordan Hayden. Still inside defensive 50 for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was just settling it down from Liam Dawson. Retain the ball. Don't just bang it outside and have it come back with interest. Jackson Allen, long kick in the direction of Spencer. It went through his hands at the back of the pack. Nellis took it, he was taken as well by Stallard, and we'll get another ball up on the outer side. Umpire Adair instructing players to move out of the way as he goes backwards. Ives hooks it around the body, hooks it around too far, out of bounds on the full. So it's going to be a free kick to Redland at half back, you would think. I would like to get another goal on the board ASAP. Cass puts it back now to Miller. Miller in the back pocket for Redland.
So Miller can switch it, and he does, to Stallard. Back in the defensive centre square. Kick out wide near the boundary, but Tolly Simmons gathers it just in time. Clever handball over the top to Williams, who can run on. Not the best kick off the boot. It falls into the path of Clay Cameron. That's a strong mark taken over Stanley. So Cameron wheels around, and he goes in the Hamilman direction. One-on-one against Gross. Gross with the timely fist. And that's out of bounds. Throw in 50 metres out from the Redland goal.
It's been a really good battle between Hamilman and Gross all day. So Matt Hamilman hasn't troubled the scorers. On the goal front at least, kicked a couple of behinds.
Second on the tally for the competition so far.
Throw in now, Gowers at the back of the pack. Kicks it in the Murphy and Miller direction. Went over the heads of both. Miller goes back and gets it, gives it to Williams. Back to Miller by hand. Exchange of handballs. Murphy tackles Williams. Oh, that's very close to holding the ball. How did he get rid of that, sir? Looping it over the top there was Hunkin. Miller goes back in. He started that bit of play 30 metres back. Followed the ball all the way up. It's going to be a throw in. Geez, it's tight again to start this third term, Jess.
Well, Aspley have now kicked the last 4 goals in a row. So Redland desperate to respond here. They can't let the margin blow out too much further. So Malone, great tap down at Cass, who's hip and shoulder by Warren. And now the players climb on top of the footing. We'll have a throw up just outside the centre square.
So you can just see them feeling each other out again at the start of the third quarter. Big boys go at it again. Spencer from behind. Sol Cormac. It's a handball away. It's nicely picked up there. Another jumper change. We'll check that one out as well. It's Gross on it on the far side. He's going to go the long left footer. Down to the outer wing, beautiful kick, and finds Warren. Warren just strolls up the outer boundary, has a bounce, kicks it long towards the top of the square. Great defensive mark. That is a beauty taken by Scott Miller, who's had a good couple of minutes. Passes it to Yagmore.
Really strong in the contest there by Miller, because Murphy tried to bump him out of the way and get it out over the back for an easy shot on goal, but Miller played it to perfection as well, as the ball ends up with Mills. Left back pocket for the Bombers. So Mills just wheels up, send it towards the commentary side wing. Malone will fly, and he takes a great grab. Quick to play on as well. Christensen has it. Little low kick inside the centre square, finds Batoli Simmons. And they want to move it quickly here. Salter marks outer wing. He's got a man running for him. And McGannon gets the handball out to Basoli Simmons. He crosses the forward 50-metre line from the boundary. The captain has a ping at goal. And it's rushed through. That would have been something from Batoli Simmons, who kicked a ripper goal earlier in the game, as Allen brings it out quickly for the Hornets, but Christensen fists it away, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
He just hobbled away there, did Christensen as well. Copped a nice physical battering in that contest. So it is game on. 14 points the margin though. Aspley leading. Malone breaks away in the ruck, taps it down. Toy sharks it though. Goes back again, the opposite. No, it's Sol Cormac. I was going to say his opposite number, and Miller gets involved, but he's not even there. Sol Cormac as well. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Just watching a little bit of byplay in the back. O'Sullivan and Tom Bolch, and just sort of bumping into each other 50 metres off the ball. Nothing untoward, but it's still just sort of bubbling under the surface here. Templeton, he can't get a hold of it for Aspley. Shoveled out by Malone, gets it over there to Spence. Speculating handball, puts everybody under pressure. Aspley now through Stanley, kicks it long. It's going to be rejected by the Bombers and Stallard.
Kick up towards half forward, over the back. This is Bailey and Arnold in a one-on-one. It goes to Hamilman. He's tackled by two Aspley players. Gav Gross from behind and Arnold from the front. And holding the ball is the call from the umpire. Oh, it's a little bit harsh, that one.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Maybe didn't make an attempt to get rid of it, but I question the prior opportunity.
Prior opportunity probably wasn't there. Whether he was making a genuine effort, that's yet to be determined.
So Arnold called to play on. So he just sends it out of the danger zone towards the boundary line. Off hands, and we'll have a ball in.
It's a very vocal crowd here at Scottsdale Park for NEAFL TV round 5. The Bombers and the Hornets. Been a cracking game of footy so far. The throw in. Double-hander down from Spencer to Cal Castledine. He scrubs it forward into Hampton. A bit of pace. Breaks through, looping a handball over to Warren. He'll use the ball effectively, will he? No, he doesn't. It's a wobbler. It actually beats Yagmore on the bounce. Picked up by Stackelberg, and he bangs it through from 40 metres. And that was just an awful bounce for Yagmore, wasn't it? He just got clean bowled by a leg break, and then Stackelberg, the older, was just standing there waiting for it. It's a vital goal for Aspley.
Oh, it's a defender's worst nightmare, isn't it, when you don't get the favourable bounce. A good finish by Stackelberg. That's now 5 goals in a row to Aspley, and they've opened up a 20-point lead in the early stages of this third quarter. They're starting to get on top, and you get the feeling they're starting to control the contest. With the first half, it was definitely an arm wrestle. I feel like they're just starting to get one foot on the throat, I think.
Yes, early doors third quarter, but the signs are definitely there. The Bombers need to respond and respond quickly. You got Miller and Franks in the middle. And you'll get Malone up against the big man in Will Walbers in the middle for Aspley. Umpire bangs it down in the middle. Malone wins this one down. There's Miller for Redland. Gets the handball away. Salter comes through. His kick sort of semi-smothered. He's going to come back and get it again. Good follow-up work. Curls it back inside, but reading it nicely. Aspley defence have it covered. It was nice work there by Jordan Arnold.
So ball now inside the centre square. Hampton, he gathers and then he takes off. Pass inside 50, though, is not a good one. And Adrian Williams chops it off for the Bombers. Wants to settle things down and elects to switch to Mills.
There's nobody out on this side for him to kick to at this stage.
So Williams has to offer an option. The ball goes over his head, though. Now he's tackled by Nellis and dispossessed. Ball in dispute, though. Williams goes again. Almost should have got a free for a knee in the back there, and then they forced a 50-50. We'll have a ball up just outside the centre square in the commentary side.
Yep, the social club agreeing with that emphatically, Jess. They were appealing for the free kick to Adrian Williams, who presented again physically as he does. Walbers gets the tap down. That could have been 1-2, so perhaps payback against Reece Toy, and we'll get another ball up. The umpires have let it go today. They've been letting the ball move as freely as it possibly can. It's been a very congested in a lot of the play. Malone again. That's a great tap down to Franks. Just gets the kick away under a lot of pressure. Clean bowls a couple, including Craven. He goes back and gets it under a lot of pressure. Handball to himself. Oh, bursts through and gets it again. Gutsy effort there by Jasper Craven. Kicks it to half forward. Reading it best again. The Redland defence have got it covered.
He did so well, did Craven. The ball now comes out, flirts the boundary line, and that is out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Aspley, and Cal Casterdine's picked it up. Right in front of us here on NEAFL TV. Short kick. Good mark by Murphy. With Yagmore on his tail. So Murphy has Toy short. Likes not to use him. Wants to go further instead. Spencer's there. Ball's off hands. Williams goes again. Handball's out in space. Will this be deliberate? The umpire, the players are calling for it, but I think he was under a fair bit of pressure there, Pricey, and we'll have a throw in.
That's a nice bit of resolve from umpire Mitchell there. Under a lot of pressure from the Aspley players. Just said, no, throw it in. So we'll get the ball, a throw in, across 50. Once again, Toy puts himself in. Can't control it, and then does. Just hacks it up. Stackelberg took him, it was Giles took him on. Caleb Franks now. This is the rolling maul and it keeps going, but we'll stop right in front of us here in the NEAFL commentary box. On centre wing, just about every player on the field on this side of the field as well. So it's a free kick holding. It'll go against Jake Spencer. Once again to the chagrin of the Social Club to our right. Chipping it forward now, Ben Warren for Aspley. He measures a kick inside 50 to the pocket. Williams front position and very strong. Takes it away. Great defensive work again as Redland work it into the middle. Aspley got some numbers here until Hamilman got himself involved. Ball stuck underneath. Bailey tackling. And it's going to be balled up. Will the umpire circle? No, it was stuck underneath legitimately, and we will get another ball up just forward of the centre circles here.
Adrian Williams is so important to Redland's defence. His efforts today have been outstanding.
Can you just imagine how much in front Aspley would be without Adrian Williams today? Sure.
So Toy now from the ball up. Handballs to Spencer. Back to Toy inside the centre square. Loads up inside 50. Freeman will fly at this one in. He takes the grab.
That's another commentator's curse. We just wrapped up his opponent in Williams. But it was a good kick. It was to the advantage side of Freeman, so it kept Williams out of the contest. And when you got good hands like John O'Freeman, that's a great kick to see coming at you.
So John O'Freeman, measured approach on this shot. So this for a 5th goal in a row to Aspley. From 40 metres out, he knew it the second he hit that one that it was fading to the right-hand side for a minor score. So margin now 21 points in favour of Aspley as Yagmore brings it back in for Redland.
So 73 plays 52. Big kick from Yagmore at the back. Mills. There's Payne, beautifully roving front and centre. Hooks it around on the left foot, inside 50. Defensively, they bring it to ground again. It's picked up by Bolch, and he just snaps it nicely around the body. Goal number 2 for Tom Bolch. Just really well read and well executed off the shoe. 11-13-79. Plays 7-10-52. Aspley, Redland with only the one behind so far in this third quarter. Aspley have piled on 3 goals, 1.
It's actually a 6th goal in a row from Aspley. So since the 26-minute mark of this second quarter, they've kicked 6 goals, 2-1 behind to Redland. So really starting to open this game up is Aspley, and Redland will need to get a hurry on if they want to stay in this contest. Margin's now 27 points, 16 minutes into the third. It's danger signs now for the Bombers.
Absolutely. The Bombers need to get a wriggle on, and they need to start getting the ball out of the middle like they were in the latter part of that first quarter.
It's Malone against Spencer again. Malone has a second bite at it, and umpires pulled a free kick going the way of Malone for high. Malone drives it inside 50. Hamilman at the back. Is that a push in the back? No, it's not. The mark is paid. He's done that a couple of times so far, Pricey, and this one, the mark actually stuck.
It is a fine line, though, as we say, between putting your hands there to stabilise and pushing your hands out. Now, I've got a feeling whenever Gross feels the hands there, he might be making the umpire have a look. Let's put it that way.
So Hamilman has got 1 goal to his name today. Let's go from 45, but that one's missed to the right-hand side. So margin back to 26 points. And Jackson Allen take control of this kick-in.
It's a long kick. He's going to be using his right foot towards Spencer. Nice mark. Oh, he went to play on, shot the handball out. It was intercepted there by O'Sullivan. Again, the smothering effort from Aspley. Giles gets the handball to Nellis. Tackled there by O'Sullivan, but still gets the kick away. And once again, reading it nicely is Adrian Williams. He's going to have that advantage over Will Walbers on the athletic front. So if the ball comes in dodgy fashion, he will lead him to it.
Fullback in the NEAFL Team of the Year the last 2 years is Adrian Williams.
In form for a third too, just quietly.
Absolutely, as Redland switch it across to the face of goal. Clay Cameron marks. Scrubber kick along the ground is okay. Patoli Simmons gathers. Long kick down the outer side wing. Had too much on it for Cass, and Dawson mops up for the Hornets. Handball's in the path of Hayden. He can't collect, but Templeton does. Backwards to Dawson by hand. Under a bit of pressure, so he handballs backwards again to Gross. Now it's back to Dawson. They've gone back to right half back. Kick inside the middle is marked by Stanley. Well, actually, I think he's got a free kick for a push.
Tell you what, it's
I think he's hurt himself too.
some contact there. Kind of copped a nice little one on the hip there, a little bit of a corky.
Yeah, he's in a bit of pain. He's got Jackson Allen right on his left-hand side. Maybe he'll handball it off. He's okay, just needs to walk it off. So Allen out to the far side wing. Taking a strong grab and a one-on-one is Spencer over Malone. It's a good win. It's hard to do against Malone and Spencer Marks.
That's been a fascinating contest as well. Nobody really dominating over the other as Spencer finds Payne on the outer side. Payne back to Spencer. So they're just happy to hold the ball until they see the presenting option. Spencer now measures a pass and it was well read and cut off. Good mark. It's taken there by Tommy Solder again. He just read it off nicely. Saw the big man in Spencer measuring the pass. Now it comes across to Mills. They want to make the switch. Mills back to Williams at the true fullback position. He's got Billy Johnson going for him, so finds him. So they've made the switch and they've got to get a move on. Aspley have done well to sort of bring their players across. That's a beautiful kick though, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Fantastic kick, and it finds Harrison Hunkin. So Harry Hunkin, double H, drops it forward. Boyd Bailey, double B. We're doing this in twos at the moment, Jess.
Bailey started the game on fire. 3 first quarter goals. He sends that one towards half forward. Offhands out the back. Ives gathers for the Hornets, but he can't find Dawson with the handball and spills over the boundary line for a throw in.
It's a vital part of the game here for Redland. They need to get this happening now if they're going to get it happening at all.
There's only 2 behinds so far this quarter, and we played 20 minutes. So throw-in comes, free kick for a push. It's going Redland's way. So big Malone, who's had 30 hit-outs today, to the hot spot. Can there be a mark? No, flying almost uncontested is Liam Dawson, who's had a great game so far, Pricey, including a specky in that last quarter.
He's provided a couple of highlights, including getting involved in the stink at half-time as well, having to change jumpers. Matthew Payne, though, on the end of the chain of handballs, measures the kick to Stackelberg. So the Sandgate product, he looks back inboard and now he sees something he likes down the line. It's going to be a handball to Payne. Payne loops one over to Nellis, right on the boundary. He was actually out before he kicked it. The crowd called it before we saw it. That was it. And we'll get a throw in. Coming out of the shade here in the commentary box side on NEAFL TV, the boundary umpire right below us as we have a look at it on this fantastic day at Scottsdale Park.
Interesting looking at the stats. Payne 17 disposals, Spencer 16, the next best possession winner for Aspley. He wins himself another hit out.
Dominant hit out, wasn't it, there to Miller? Took him on. Now puts the handball to Cass, puts him under a lot of pressure. Warren put him under the hammer, went in, got the ball, gave it to Templeton. Templeton back to Jackson Allen. He chips it forward, cut off there by the postman, Craig Malone.
Handball's inboard to Walsh, just gets the handball away. Mills, Stackelberg on his hammer, gets the handball out to Johnson, evades one, short kick to Salter. He wants to go, but he forgot that Hampton was chasing him. Franks now lowers the eyes. Cormick drops the mark. Ball in dispute at centre half forward for the Bombers. And it'll be a ball up just inside forward 50. Jeez, Hampton almost got him then.
He did. Billy Johnson probably a little stiff there too. He came from nowhere to collect the Aspley player who had the ball stuck underneath him. Once again, oh, there's a hold, and it's going to go against Spencer to Malone. So Malone. Now to kick this, he'd have to go from about 55. The big unit. Let's see what he can do. From right on the edge of the centre square. It's actually not a bad kick. Floats to the right though. Gross got a hand to it out of bounds, and we're going to throw in.
The top 2 possession winners for Redland. Pricey, can you guess?
Top 2 possession winners for Redland. I reckon Malone will be up there very close.
Williams with 17, Malone with 15. Goes to show how important they are to this Redland side. They've had fantastic games. The ball is thrown in. Redland are in attack. Malone against Spencer in the ruck. Dawson at ground level. Just a handball in hope. Coming through is Templeton, but he's wrapped up by Johnson. Ball spills loose. Ives on his hands and knees. Handball, though, is intercepted by Bailey, who throws it on the boot towards the goal line, reading it best. His play on, though, touched. And it'll be over the goal line. A bit of confusion with the players there because...
Well, I'm a little confused because Gavin Gross just dropped that cold.
And so Hamlin was peering for either holding the ball or play. And Gross was saying, no, how is it not a mark? So I think a bit of confusion there on both parts.
Well, let's call it a draw and move on. Jackson Allen now brings it back out. Malone at the front, Freeman at the back. Freeman went for the juggle, went for the third grab, but interjecting Redland now. Johnson hooks it around the left foot. Once again, they've got the numbers. Aspley, Gross, slips catch, takes it in front of Boyd Bailey, and he'll relieve some pressure again. They just can't break through for that moment, Redland, can they?
Yeah, Aspley's defence, I think, over the course of the game has really lifted and they've really shut things down. So, Williams attempts to Specky. Ball spills over the back. Murphy on his hands and knees, locked up by Johnson. I like what I've seen from some of the Redland young guns today, Johnson and Franks in particular. Yeah, they're going to be great plays for the future.
Oh, Caleb Franks, he's had a couple of great weeks. Malone, there's Billy Johnson again. Bounces awkwardly towards Dawson. He controls it and then measures it, but puts his teammate under pressure. They're going to turn it over here. Batoli Simmons, handball over the top to O'Sullivan. Will it bounce for him? It does, but he gets tackled beautifully. I was about to say, there's got to be a whistle somewhere there. That should be rewarded, and it was. It was Toy. Handball over the top now. Bolch, can he pick it up? Does so. Left foot from Bolch. Freeman the target. He just broke away. Once again, when the ball is moving that quickly, there's nothing that a bloke like Adrian Williams can do when Freeman's on the lead and he's got a metre or two on you.
2 goals, 4 from Freeman today. Could have had a bag, but...
Those 4 that he's had, a few of them eminently kickable as well. He had one snap that hit the post, so see how he goes with this one. Jonathan Freeman can really make it uncomfortable for Redland. Just inside 50 from about 45. He's pushed it to the right a tad and it'll be a behind. So that's 2 goals, 5 for Jono Freeman today. 11, 14, 80, 7, 12, 54. So we're 16 points. 26 points. I told you I'd take my shoes and socks off to add sometimes.
Oh, Yagmall's turned it over straight down the throat of Jackson Allen inside the centre square. And they try and go in the Freeman direction again. He just sends it to a dangerous spot. Nellis will have a go at this one and he marks. He used his body well against O'Sullivan, who tried to claim a push in the back, but the umpire said, no, that's a mark. And Nellis deep in the left forward pocket. See if he's got the accuracy on this one. The right foot, and he makes no mistake. That's another goal to Aspley. They're well on top in this one. The margin now is pushed out to 32 points. The 27-minute mark of the third quarter, and it'll be hard for Redland to come back from here, Pricey.
Yeah, it is, and whatever breeze that we have had, it now looks like it's favouring that end to a certain degree. It's not a mini goal-scoring breeze, but whatever Redland can take, they will at the moment. So perhaps they'll get used to that breeze in the last quarter as well.
I just can't afford to concede anymore because it'll be a hell of a comeback. Aspley have really started to control this contest. The defence is winning those battles and they're not sort of, wouldn't say leaking goals, but there was a lot of sort of goals in the early parts where Redland obviously won first possession and created opportunities for themselves, but Aspley really sort of putting them under pressure in that forward half of the ground and causing turnovers, and they're able to sort of transition the ball now pretty well into the forward 50, so they're on top in this one.
Umpire Adair's pulled out a free kick from that ruck contest. It's going to go to Walbers for Aspley. So Will Walbers, unorthodox kicking style, very effective though, kicks it towards Castledine at the back of the pack. Warren. And that was Harrison Hunkin who copped one as well in the back from Warren. He will get the free kick. It's been serviceable today as well, the inclusion. Chips it towards Stephen. He's hassled off it by Jasper Craven for Aspley. So we'll get a throw in just to the right of the NEAFL TV commentary box. This is the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy, which is part of the calendar in the fixture, regular part of the Indigenous round.
So Mills wheels the head out straight down to Ives, who's tackled again by Mills. Great second effort there by Stephen Mills. Forces a ball up right in front of us, still on the commentary side wing.
Just saw Jake Spencer. He's got a sore right hand. He's probably got a bit of leather poisoning from slapping it around over the last couple of months.
So Templeton bursts through, fires out a handball to Craven. He's got Cal Castledine in space. Whacks it on the boot inside 50. Wolvers will have a run at this. There's been a free kick going Aspley's way, I think, to Freeman. Did you see that one, Pricey?
I reckon it was a hold of the jumper there. And they were a little bit under pressure. And the unusual side of Matt Hamilman going up in defence against Jono Freeman. And Hamilman, I suppose, just had too much of that jumper in the hand.
Not used to being a defender. So 4-0, Aspley's way. Freeman has 2-5 to his name on the three-quarter time siren, and that one's fading again for a minor score. But Aspley, they're in control at three-quarter time of this round 5 clash at Scottsdale Park. 12-15-87 plays Redland, 7-12-54.
And that's a 44-point turnaround since quarter time. Aspley led it by 9 points at halftime. Redland led by 17 points at quarter time. Since quarter time, Redland have only scored 1 goal, 9. They've had their chances, and certainly Aspley have had their chances. 11 goals, 15, so 26 scoring shots to 19. So goal kicking at a premium. We'll see what will happen in the final quarter very shortly. This is NEAFL TV, round 5 through Bar TV, our broadcast partner. ba, ba, ba. Here we are, welcome back to Scottsdale Park, Redland, for the home game between the Redland Bombers and the Aspley Hornets, part of NEAFL TV's round 5 Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy. Of course, Quandamooka representing the Redland mob and Toorbul representing Aspley. Michael Price and Jess Webster calling all the action today, and at three-quarter time it is Aspley, 27 points in front. They led by 9 at half-time. They trailed by 17 at quarter-time. Redland have only scored 1 goal 9 since quarter-time, Jess. They need to get a wriggle on, and that is saying something.
9 goals, 12 to Aspley in that period of the last 2 quarters as well. So well on top in this one, and it'll be a mountain to climb back for Redland, but we just want to see them go back to how they were playing in the first quarter. Regardless of the result, Redland, I think Coach Phil Castle want to see something they can work on going forward.
Umpire Chris Mellon holds it up in the middle of the ground, and we'll get the 2 big ruckmen, Craig Malone and Jake Spencer for Aspley. Spencer jumps early, Malone gets the tap down. Once again in dispute inside the centre circles. Kyle Walsh puts himself in, so does Templeton for Aspley, extracts the ball, gets it back, he scrubs it forward. Beautifully picked up by James Nellis. Handball now to Ives, chips it inside 50. Freeman Stackelberg on the bounce and curls it around, and that is the perfect start for Aspley. Stackelberg, the older, gets his second goal. 12-15-87, 7-12-54 Redland. It's now a 33-point margin. Makes it very difficult.
I think Stackelberg made that kick from Ives look pretty good in the end. Wasn't the best pass from the co-captain, but Stackelberg, the curl around in the finish was excellent.
So 39 points, Jess, it is. Good gravy. And this is where I used to love the old scoreboard because it's big. And the little scoreboard over there is delightful, but it's really small, and it's got the LEDs with the sun shining in it. Have I made enough excuses yet?
No, you got to love modern technology. So we're back in the middle now, and Aspley are in the box seat for their first win of the 2019 season. They've had a bit of a disappointing start, and saying that, they've had a tough start to the season, taking on Brisbane, the 21 AFL listed players, and defending Premier Southport among those. So from the middle, Spencer with a little kick towards half forward, but Miller wins the footy at half back for the Bombers. A rush kick out to the commentary side wing. It's a foot race. Dawson will meet it there first for the Hornets. Boyd Bailey chasing him. Handball inboard to Hayden. He's got a bit of room to move. Elects to go inboard. It's a dangerous kick. Made Gowers work for it. And then coming through was Bartoli Simmons, but he's wrapped up in attack, and we'll have a ball up inside the centre square.
So I suppose one of the positive signs for Redland today has been the return to form of Hayden Bartoli Simmons, who's had a slow start to the year, but he's really been involved today. Extraction now, Gowers for Aspley. He just puts it out into the path of John O'Giles, makes him work for it. He beats Yagmore to the ball, turning circle good, turns around, kicks it over the head of Freeman. Hamilman back in defence now for Redland, that's saying something. Mills, handball over there to Hunkin, he couldn't quite get the ball. Now it's taken out of there. Number 40 is Jordan Hayden, who changed jumpers just after half-time's melee. And it goes there to Mills, a diving effort in defence for Redland. Dangerous kick to Cameron. It comes off though.
Just having a look at the Redland bench, Caleb Franks has ice on the ankle. Looks like he's done for the day. It's a big loss. He was having a great game, the youngster. So Sullivan marks inside defensive 50. Inboard to Yagmore in space on the paint of the centre square. Switches it out to the outer side wing. And Harry Hunkin, it's a bit of space, chips it to Bartoli Simmons. Can't mark, but has time to gather. Handballs to Christensen, just outside 50. He runs inside the attacking zone, has a ping from 45, and hits the post. So minor score for Redland. haven't scored a goal since the 21-minute mark of the second quarter.
Been a long time between drinks.
When they kicked 6 goals in the opening term, it's been a wonderful defensive effort from Aspley since then, just to slow that scoring down.
So Jackson Allen plays on. He goes to the outer wing. Kyle Walsh gets in front, fists it over the boundary line. We'll get another throw in on the outer side. Once again, Aspley have just sort of ground their way through the game too, though. They've made, I suppose, they had a few chances they squandered, especially in that second quarter as well, so they could have really put them to the sword earlier.
But they haven't dropped their heads either. So
No.
First quarter they're down, second quarter they didn't make the most of their opportunities, but they kept working.
Inside 50 for Redland. Turnover, well read there again by Jordan Hayden. They'll bring the ball back in. Doesn't seem to be a lot of movement for him up forward.
So a long kick to the outer side wing. Spencer and Malone off hands. Miller first to meet it, but the boundary line beats him, and we'll have a throw in. Wing position outer side.
Fairly subdued start to the final term, especially after Aspley kicked that opening goal of the quarter.
So throw in. Ball in dispute on. We've had a free kick pulled out. It's going Tom Salter's way. So 14 disposals and 8 marks for Tom Salter today. And he sends it in for his 4th inside 50. Flying, can't take the mark though. It's Adrian Williams. So Arnold handballs to Kyle Carsadine under pressure. Ball bounces in favour of Malone. Malone against Hampton, against Malone. Get it right eventually. Turnover though, Mills for Redland. Chips it out wide and finds Hunkin.
So Hunkin just short of centre wing. Chews off the 45 kick and hits Salter. Salter now inside 50. Kick was quite good there for Ratton. Didn't quite work out though. Aspley defence. Warren goes one way then the other in the handball. Through Templeton, through Dawson. Dawson now a looping one to Nellis. Has time to let it bounce. Gives it off to Toy. Methodical. Hits Murphy at half forward. Murphy now spears the ball, misses all comers. It was beautifully intercepted, running with the flight from Stallard. Ordered to play on, he kicks it high. Boyd Bailey's got to go, but Warren takes it for Aspley. The crowd give him some too. And bounces it just before Jack Stanley, who was thrown off the ball. The ball spills now. Templeton gets a handball back to Toy. Boyd Bailey slow to get up in the background as the ball's taken over by Yagmore over the boundary line.
Right in front of the home ground supporters as well.
Tell you what, they're a good bunch of supporters here at Redland. They're vocal, they're passionate. They love it.
7 minutes into this last quarter, Aspley lead it by 38. They will win their first game of season 2019. So Wolbers against Malone. Murphy, he gathers. He takes off, he spins it around the corner, and that is a wonderful goal from Billy Murphy, his 3rd, and it adds more pain to the Bombers. It was electrifying by Murphy. That's what he brings to this Aspley side, Pricey.
He's got an X factor, has Billy Murphy. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I'd like to see more of it, though. I'd like to see him utilise his pace to really bring that forward pressure as well. He's got the skills. When he gets in anywhere near goal, he'll have a crack at it. But Billy Murphy, a really good addition. Box Hill Billy from the Box Hill Hawks. Aspley really welcome him into the fray this year, and that really just puts it almost to bed for the Aspley Hornets. 44 points now. It's been a really, I suppose, the score doesn't really indicate how close this game has been in certain instances. I suppose it could have been even worse with Aspley actually frittering those chances as well, but so have Redland, as we pointed out.
And what do we make of Redland's start to the year? They have the bye next week and they're 1-4, but they've shown glimpses. You wonder sort of how they're going to take it to the next level. As Payne is run down by Walsh. Great tackle by Walsh. That's holding the ball. Free kick at centre-half back.
I agree with you there, Jess. They've had a good start to the season, but it has been patchy. But the glimpses of what is their best form really is exciting. And Aspley now extracting it. Batoli, Simmons back to O'Sullivan, sells the big dummy and then goes long to the top of the square at the back. running with the flight of the ball. Was taken there by Jack Ratton, making his debut today. The Cooperoo and Mount Gravatt player will get his first goal in the NEAFL. Does too. And they do get around him too, the Redland Bombers players. Well done to Jack Ratton, the 19-year-old. As we say, I was having a chat with Brad Howard from the NEAFL. He was really effusive about this guy. Kicked 47 odd goals in Div 1 for Cooperoo and went through the ranks. So there's a positive for Redland today, and they dragged the margin back down to 38 points.
When you look at their side and what kind of young talent they can build a future around, Sol Cormick, Matt McGannon, obviously keep going down, Luke O'Sullivan, even Harry Hunkin, he's still quite young. Ratton obviously on debut, Billy Johnson's and Caleb Franks are going to be stars. So there's so much talent. It's just, I think because we've seen them be so young and exciting for a while, we just want to see that mature a little bit into winning a few more games. But I definitely have some good players out there, Redland. Guess we just want to see them at their best more often.
So here comes Big Will Walbers out of the ruck. Handballs it off now to Toy. Toy inside 50. Payne in a 1-on-2. Kyle Walsh spoils. It's going to get stuck under several. If no, Walsh extracts it again. Kicks a wobbler and he hits Hunkin in the middle of the field.
Hunkin short to Salter. Wants to wheel and go, and he does. Oh, taking another good grab is Dawson. He flew for the second time today. I think his first mark was better than that one, but still an excellent defensive mark. Quick to play on to Bolch. High kick inside 50. Nellis works his way to front spot, or Freeman it was rather. Couldn't mark though. Malone at the back doing the roving. He's done everything today, Malone. And he spots up a target at right half back and Phil Cass. And
Cass comes down the line. Another invaluable player for the Bombers, Adrian Williams. Sees Christensen on his own, takes the mark. Probably a little slow, mate. Yes, the crowd have been saying it too. And that's 50. Just Jackson Allen in the... just encroached, or whether it was Jono Giles running past that protected area. It wasn't affecting the game, so why not waste another 20 seconds?
Was Christensen in a goal-scoring opportunity? Yeah, it's a bit...
We are allowed to say we don't like the rule, if we don't like the rule.
I think that's fair.
The umpire's just doing their job. Simple as that.
But you're right. I mean, it didn't really sort of affect anything. So
if it affects the game, I'm all for it, but it didn't. Here's Christensen anyway. From 30, and geez, just hits the outside of the boot, and not a good finish from Aaron Christensen.
Not the best game from him today. 0 goals, 4. You know he can be electric when he's on his day. Hasn't quite found his radar this afternoon.
So we're down to 37 points now.
So a long kick by Alan Spencer. Great contested mark. He's battled so hard today, Spencer. 24 hit out, 6 clearances, 16 disposals, 7 marks, and he's done that while opposing Craig Malone. So Hamilman at the back takes a good mark, just read it a little bit better than Warren, worked him underneath it. Kick into the middle is a dangerous one. He's turned it over. Now the Hornets through Templeton. Sends it long to the hot spot. Nellis against Stallard. Stallard worked. He read that better, didn't he?
Well, he read it better, but what was Templeton thinking? He had 4 men on their own. He banged it to the goal square where the only Redland player was. There was options aplenty as they go out to the outer side. It's picked up again by Redland. Handball shot out by Ratton, but it's taken over the boundary line. No, Templeton's a fine player, don't get me wrong, but he had options aplenty there, and I think he just chose
blazed away.
The wrong one. Didn't lower the eyes at all. And that's the kind of stuff you do when you've got a team, I suppose, down on the ground. You've got the foot on the throat. You want to make sure that you're really emphasising that as you move forward. Salter, tackling effort, takes the ball over the boundary line, but it was too high. It's going to be a free kick. It will go to Aspley. It will go to Jono Giles. He's going to move it forward. He's shading his eyes from the sun. Now it's a long kick at the back. Walbers couldn't quite take the mark. Roving Ben Warren, snap and behind. So they hit 100 first, and according to the formula, that's it. 100 plays 62. 38 points the margin.
O'Sullivan, right half back for the Bombers. Inboard to Cormick. Patoli Simmons in space, and he finds him just inside the centre square. Has O'Sullivan running for him, loops it over to Cameron, just sells a bit of candy, then from the centre circle, inside 50. Good spoil by Dawson over Spence. Ball still alive inside forward 50 for the Bombers. But Jordan Arden laying a defensive tackle, forces the ball up 35 metres out directly in front.
So it's been an interesting game here, round 5 on NEAFL TV through Bar TV, our broadcast partner. And Aspley with the ascendancy at the moment. Redland still pressing, trying their hardest. The ball comes back. Good tackling effort from Boyd Bailey. Ball stuck to his opponent's chest.
So Aspley next week will take on Gold Coast at home, who obviously had a breakthrough victory against NT Thunder last night. So that'll be a cracker awaiting Aspley as they look to climb back up the ladder.
Giles goes down the line, misses his target in toy. Now Billy Johnson for Redland, kick smothered. He butters up again. O'Sullivan can't pick it up. Gowers, Ives by hand, bounces for Warren. He can't quite get past his opponent, but picks it up anyway. Now Billy Johnson again on the left foot. Inside 50. Spencer, he flies. Ball hits the deck and Aspley beautifully rode. Giles, there was a free kick for high contact. There is advantage. Templeton now. What's his decision making like there? A lot better. He hits Freeman on the chest. He's got people streaming past. He tries to spear it, and it's an inside-out torpedo mongrel. It's bouncing between Stackelberg and Murphy. Stackelberg couldn't control it. Yagmore could. Handball. And Murphy picks it up. Oh, he's going to loop it back to Stackelberg. This is almost training drill gear. Stackelberg, one behind.
A great fight there for the Hornets. Obviously, you know, late in the game, and the result's pretty much what it is. Sewn up, but good to see them still working hard. So long kick down into the centre. Cal Carson wraps up Salter, but it spills out, and the Bombers are a chance. Now here's Ratton, the debutant. Handball in board. Spencer's run down, and holding the ball is the call from the umpire. Play on advantage though. Payne out wide to Bolch. Kicked a couple of goals today. Chips it over the top to Allen. Allen elects to go inboard. Back to Payne for disposal. Number 18 coming up. He's tripped over his own feet a little bit. Sends it back out wide to Bolch. Chips it over the top back to Allen. So 3 players just getting an extra couple of stats as Allen towards the hot spot. Coming across his Mills. His holding kick though going Aspley's way for holding the jumper. Play on advantage, and Billy Murphy kicks it through in the goal square. Goal number 4 from him.
Jono Freeman's probably saying, "Oh, turn it up, mate. I've had a bad day at the office. 2 goals, 6, and you just come in and take the advantage." Joe the Goose one. No, well done.
It was a good fly by Mills though across the pack. Almost took the mark, but obviously there was a free kick.
He's got some good air skills, has Stephen Mills. But this one, that's out of business now for the Redland Bombers. Now 45 points the margin. And really, if you have a look at just the scoring shots, 32 plays 22. It's probably indicative. What are the inside 50s looking like, Jess, between the two sides today?
58-45 going Aspley's way, and I just took a look at the live ladder, and Aspley are, it's 83.5%. Redland are in 7th. Aspley 83.4% in 8th. So if you get another couple of goals, Aspley will go to 7th.
They'll swap,
which is pretty good considering after last night's result they went down to 10th. They're from 10th to 7th in one game. I think they'll be pretty pleased with that. Sit just outside the top 6.
Just shows you how tight the ladder is as well.
Yeah.
So there's Malone in the middle. Gets it down, Reece Toy pinches it. Handball back to Payne. Delivers a pass towards Murphy. Well spoiled by Miller, but Murphy takes off. He runs to 50. Gets it to the top of the square. Oh, well done, Yagmore. Got 1 foot to it, then hacked it off the ground. It's rolling towards the boundary line. How are they going to look at this one? They'll say it's a throw in the act of playing. I like that. So Billy Murphy, I think he eyed up 5 goals there. He was having a big smile to himself as he ran in there.
So throwing in, Aspley are in attack again. Quick kick comes out of the pack. Craven first to meet it. Just a hurry kick back inside forward 50. And taking a good defensive mark on that occasion was Hamilman over Freeman.
Yeah, it's interesting, the second half. leading goal kicker from last year, Matt Hamilman, being moved into defence for Redland.
They've done the switch, and now the two fullbacks are playing on each other, and Adrian Williams and Gav Gross. So.
It's an interesting thing where you see two of the better forwards in the league against each other and two of the better fullbacks in the league.
I don't mind it. I like it.
I think, well, it varies it up. It makes our life a lot more interesting. But he's an outstanding game as Adrian Williams.
Yeah.
So Malone again. Templeton. Malone follows up with the tackle. Templeton gets the handball away. Castledine inside 50. And that's a good run, jump and leap and mark at Jono Freeman in front of Hamilman.
What I love about this is, I think, how many times have they done training drills together back at the Brisbane Lions? They were both teammates as young kids coming through the Lions Academy and then Brisbane ranks. So I think they'll, on the down low, be enjoying this, I reckon, battling each other. So
2-6 for Jono Freeman so far today. Again, distance is not a factor. Distance not a factor at all. He hits it from 50, it's going to go left and stay that way. 2-7 for Jono Freeman today. A day of what could have been for him with regards to the goal kicking as Redland bring it back in.
So Miller, dangerous short kick, but it does find Hamilman. Another short 45 to Stephen, a true centre half back for the Bombers. Wheels and goes. Sends it out towards the outer side wing. 1-on-1 Christensen against Stanley. Now coming through is Jordan Hayden. Handballs to Ives, to a running Stanley coming through. And now it's in Billy Murphy's hands. Takes a run and then hits up Wolbers, but he drops the mark out the back though. Still a chance for the Hornets. It ends up with Warren. Spins out of trouble, now puts it on his right. It's a high up and under kick. They'll have to fly at this one. Still alive in the goal square. They haven't rushed it through for a behind. Now they do. Gosh, that was almost dangerous as we hear again the Redland home crowd getting into the game at this late stages. Aspley by 47 at the 20-minute mark of the last quarter as Redland bring it back in quickly. And
really quickly down the middle. That's a long kick towards the forward line. Well done by Jordan Hayden, who got back, got the fist, but Redland still have a chance. It goes inside 50. Cormac versus Toy. Toy did well to dislodge him. Here's Boyd Bailey. Dribbles one. And it's a goal. So Boyd Bailey has kicked 4. He started on fire, slowed down a fair bit, but to be fair, Redland have themselves. But there's 9-14-68. Plays 15-19, 109.
Just taking a look at some of these stats winners. So for Redland, Adrian Williams, 19 disposals and 5 rebound 50s. Just an excellent game from a key defender. Now key forward in the later stages. Craig Malone, the next best with 18 disposals, 39 hitouts and 6 clearances. He's just had a wonderful game. And Tom Salter with 17 disposals and 10 marks. And for Aspley, no surprises. Matt Payne at the top of the disposal count with 21. 23 clearances and 4 inside 50s. And Reece Toy with 19 disposals as well.
We've got the goal kickers, the top of the charts for both sides. Well, Billy Murphy's got 4 and Boyd Bailey's got 4 for Redland.
So from the restart, Ives, a long kick towards the hotspot. Freeman can't mark. It goes again though. This time throws it on the right boot, directly straight up and down. Not 15 in anyone's books. Nellis has a go. Just tries to tap it into space. Ball still alive on the 50-metre line. Walsh now extracts it. Handballs to Cameron. Now the quick kick along the boundary line. The Aspley plays a call for deliberate, and the umpire pays it. Fell over as he kicked it. I think the Redland player did, but
more or less,
as Warren finds a target in Toy, about 80 metres out from goal. So he goes back and forth to Warren. Called play on, not 15, says the umpire. As Warren just slams it on the boot. It's a wayward kick though, out of bounds on the full. Redland to take the free kick in the left back pocket.
Yeah, a bit of junk time stuff there from Aspley. Ben Warren trying to wax and not coming off. Stallard brings it across the ground. Hayden Batoli-Simmons, he's got Boyd Bailey on the lead. Hits him. So they're outside of defensive 50 now. Batoli-Simmons up the line. Punched away there from Spence. It's picked up by Craven. Inside 50 at the back, Hamilman. Judged it nicely at the back of the pack, now playing in defensive mode. Chips it to centre half back. Dangerous kick, but it comes off to O'Sullivan. Now the run of Yagmore. Little chip pass from Yagmore to Cameron. It's going to come back there to Cameron. O'Sullivan still in the middle. They're mucking around with it here. Cameron Tolly Simmons sweeping ball to Tom Salter. Salter to Hunkin, and that was hard work just to get it to the wing.
So where's the next target going to come from Redland? Is Hunkin. It's a smart kick in the direction of Batoli Simmons. Great vision and great running by Batoli Simmons. He's really had a great game. The captain has a low spearing kick, but it's ill-directed, just as I say that and give him a wrap. It's Jack Stanley.
You have the power, Jess. We all do.
So Jack Stanley's kick not the best either, and that dribbles out of bounds.
Now, this has been a very physical game. So I'll give the players a chop out for late in the game. Bit of red time, bit of junk that's coming into it. They've bashed into each other in merciless fashion for 3 quarters. So we're not getting the best of the skill set at this particular stage.
So still an attack for the Bombers. Oh, coming through with pace is Craven. Handball's inboard to Templeton. Goes, kick, couldn't find, it wasn't to the advantage of Freeman. He gets a lucky bounce but overruns it. Mills mops up for the Bombers and finds a player in Stallard who plays on quickly. Just getting a fist in there was Bolch. Out the back is Malone. Handball's to O'Sullivan. Handball's over the top to Steven. Switches in ball to Cameron.
And Clay Cameron now. He sees a lead. And nice pass finds Cormac. Cormac's got something in the middle he likes. Finds Harry Hunkin. Harrison Hunkin.
Has not played for Redland at NEAFL level in 965 days, Pricey. His last game was round 20 in 2016. Hasn't kicked a goal today.
So he hasn't kicked a goal for 4 years.
We're building it up, Pricey. I think this will be a moment. You talk about the Redland faithful, they stuck around for this game. I reckon they would absolutely love to see this one sail through.
So he's going to have a ping from around about 40. Just a slight angle to the left. Harrison Hunkin, the left footer. Goal umpire doesn't move. There you go. There's something from the Redland crowd to get around. His first game at the club for 965 odd days, and he kicks a goal. Well done to Harrison Hunkin. So it's Aspley now, 15-19, 109. Redland 10-14, 74. We're back to a 35-point margin.
So I think Aspley will just be happy, I think, to get the 4 points. It's been a tough start to the year for them. And they came here today to avoid their worst ever start to a NEAFL season, which would have been 0-4. So they've never been in that position before. But just to get the 4 points and essentially sort of start their season from now, I think is what they'll be hoping for. They're coming off the bye. They've got a good stretch ahead where they hopefully can bank a few more games and start to climb up the ladder as Wolvers wins that tap. Sharking it is Cameron, who Hampton ends up with it, and Cameron lays the tackle. So it spills out to Redland. On the outer side is Cass. Handballs to Stephen. Kicks in board. It's a dangerous kick, and Templeton mops up, and Hornets have won the turnover. Cal Carsadine in a bit of space, but his kick is ill-directed, and Mills taking the intercept mark.
Yeah, he's grown as the game's gotten older as well, has Mills, but he's had a lot of opportunity in the defensive area for Redland. It's a dangerous kick there from Cameron, but he finds his target. It's a really nice kick in the end. Goes to Stephen. Stephen out wider now to Hayden Batoli Simmons on the left. Hits his target right next to the boundary as well. So they'll get another opportunity to score. It's the coach Phil Cass. Just outside attacking 50. So he pops it up to the dangerous area. Big fly bounces off Malone's hands. Beautifully rode front and centre from Templeton to Aspley. He measured a kick to Billy Murphy. Here's the skates on now. He has a run well chased by Miller, but Murphy keeps going from 50. It bounces. That's great goal, and number 5 for Billy Murphy. After a manful chase there from Scott Miller, who kept up with him. Murphy had to go. He did. And that puts a little bit of a cherry on the top for Aspley's cake here. 16-19, 115.
You said you wanted to see more from Billy Murphy today, Pricey.
I did.
11 disposals, 4 marks, 7 inside 50s, 5 goals.
And that's what I wanted to see. That's what I'm talking about.
He certainly is electrifying. I think him and Lonnie Hampton just add that X factor to Aspley's side. And also we forget Michael Hagan as well. The recruit from the Northern Territory is currently injured at the moment. He's played 1 or 2 games early in the season. If they can get him up and going, all of a sudden Aspley, you know, just got so many sort of avenues and pace, and that's probably something they've been lacking in recent years. They haven't been known as a fast side.
I was about to say, pace in the modern game is an exclusive weapon. If you've got it, you've got to use it.
Will potentially turn them into a premiership winning side. A lot of football to be played left, though, in 2019. He's the man we talked about, Hampton. He's one of the speedy midfielders for Aspley. Spills out to Templeton, and now Warren. He's got a bit of space, lowers the eyes and hits Freeman on the lead. Well done. So Freeman, 2 goals, 7, another shot on goal, Pricey. I think he just wants one before full time. He just wants to end the game with a goal.
Finish with a goal.
Yeah.
Do an arm curl, get off. 3 goals, 7, that'll do me. 10 shots at goal. Again, it's a tale of what could have been for Jono today.
Redland crowd absolutely giving it to him on the sidelines. From 50, right on the paint. Looks good off the boot, and it has snuck through, and he'll be happy with that one. Jono Freeman, his 3rd goal for the afternoon. Aspley, 47 points in front at the moment. Not long left in this game, and they'll be pleased with the way they finished off as well. 5 goals to 3 in the final term.
How are the inside 50s looking now, Jess? Because I'm just seeing that they've really had a lot of the ball.
68 to 49, so about 20 more inside 50s. So they've slowly increased it since quarter time.
Yeah,
they've slowly, it's just the sheer weight, I think, of inside forward 50 entries. They've put the Redland defenders under pressure all day, and then conversely at the other end, they've managed to stop the I guess the goal scoring opportunity for
Absolutely,
Redland.
I totally
agree.
agree.
So I think they've done it really well. They've really turned this game slowly and grinded it out and turned it to be back on their terms.
Yeah, here's Malone and Walbers. Walbers gets it down. It's picked up by Miller. He's battled hard all day. O'Sullivan, handball over the top now to Clay Cameron. He's going to go inside 50. He's looking for Boyd Bailey. Nothing happening. Over the boundary line, we'll get a throw in the left forward pocket late in the 3rd quarter. The best players, though, you'd have to think Aspley today. They were really well serviced, obviously, by Jake Spencer in the ruck, but just around the ground, it's a reasonably even spread.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Warren's now on top of the disposals with 22, but even if their leading disposal winner only has 22, it sort of goes to show that it has been an even contribution. So
he's hacks it out now. Bolsch on the outer side. It's a long kick. Stackelberg, oh, here he goes again. Billy Murphy, front and centre roving, goes inside 50 and drills a kick. Goes through the hands of Payne it was. He goes back, MVP 3. Handball to Billy Murphy. He's going to run and get 6. Billy! That's it on the siren. Box Hill Billy gets half a dozen, and Aspley win this game by 53 points, 18-19, 127 to 10-14, 74 in what was, in the end, a really comprehensive victory for the Quandamooka Toorbul Trophy.
Yes, Aspley run out winners, their first win in season 2019, so it was such an electric start to this game, Price. We were loving it. 9 goals scored in total in the first quarter. Redland got the jump. They were looking $1 million. Boyd Bailey had 3 goals at quarter time, but to Aspley's credit, they evened it up in the second quarter, even though they didn't obviously get sort of the goals on the scoreboard. And then obviously in the second half, they run the match out better. 10 goals to 3 in the second half, I think, probably tells the story of the game about how they sort of turned the game into one that they were controlling, and in the end they just got the job done. We knew they came here today just to get the 4 points and just get their season started.
They were desperate for it. We could actually feel that before the game. And you've got to say that in the end, Jono Freeman, he presented all day for the Aspley Football Club. If it wasn't for Adrian Williams in the first 3 quarters, he could have had a field day. He's kicked 2 goals, 7. 3 goals, 7? 2 goals, 7. Did he get 3?
3 goals, 7.
3 goals, 7. So he's had 10 shots at goal. Could have been anything. And then up Bob's Billy Murphy. Just pulls 6 goals. Bang, 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 bang. These are the kinds of weapons that Aspley had at their disposal. Redland, I felt for the likes of Malone, Adrian Williams, even towards the end, Stephen Mills really working hard across the back line and just repelling play after play after play. But the damn wall just burst, and Aspley, just after peppering for so long, just ended up turning that crack into a hole.
And I think the buys come at a good time for Redland because they're 1-4. Obviously, they got done by Southport in the opening round, had a wonderful win against Canberra, pushed Sydney, could have won in round 3, and then had a close-ish loss against NT Thunder last week, and then of course they sort of just ran out of legs today. So I think it's been a sort of a big opening month for Redland. Just sort of a new coach, a couple of new recruits, sort of still learning how to play with each other, but they have talent and they've got some absolute stars, some genuine stars of the competition that play in Redland. So I think there's a lot to work with. So I think they'll go into the bye this week, reset, and then come out firing from there and just keep the pressure on these sides, because I think they're starting to, I guess, earn a little bit more respect from the opposition sides in the terms that they're not really a pushover anymore.
Oh, not a pushover or an easy beat by any stretch of the imagination. Again, as you said, the young players, I was really impressed today with Boyd Bailey.
Yes.
And we have... Oh, there he is. He's in the middle of the field. I didn't realise we were having ceremony here. Ah, yes, so there's the trophy for the Quandamooka Toolball Trophy. Coach Daniel Webster comes out and receives that. Well done. So the co-captains in James Ives and man, a few words. James Ives and Reece Toy received the trophy. And it was a game that, look, it was played in the right spirit. It was right on the edge on occasions as well. They really gave each other plenty. But in the end, it was Aspley that were too good. And they got over the top of Redland here by the... in the end, it was 53 points. So 37 scoring shots to 24. Pretty comprehensive. Michael Price and Jess Webster saying farewell and thanks very much for joining us for NEAFL TV Round 5. The winners of the Quandamooka Toolball Trophy this year in 2019 is the Aspley Football Club. We'll be back next time on NEAFL TV through our broadcast partner, Bar TV.